Derek Rossiter coming up in just a little bit. First, though, our color guy tonight, Mike Azadian.
How you doing, sir?
And Mike, what a matchup tonight. We have two powerhouses in the 3A Western Hills Conference. Post Gazette's here tonight. They have them both as top 5 teams in all of 3A.
Oh, yeah. I agree 100%. I've said that since the beginning of the year. Avonworth there, too. A lot of people feel this is the big game for the section championship. Even though it's halfway through the year, realistically, these are two of the best 3 teams in the conference.
We are broadcasting from the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth. This is the Fisher's New Brighton Foodland pregame show on Beaver County Radio. Coming up, we'll take a look at games across the Beaver Valley as we take a peek. Our first look at the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Get some insights from our sideline reporter, Derek Rossiter, who's been talking to the coaches before kickoff. And we are just about 20 so minutes away from that kickoff. Once again, it's Central Valley and Beaver live.
Make your dream of a college degree a reality at Community College of Beaver County. CCBC offers 10 pathways to success, including health sciences, criminal justice, industrial technology, business, and more. Start at CCBC and finish your career or get transfer ready, all at a realistic cost. Enroll today, ccbc.edu.
The unexpected happens. When it does, you have peace of mind that you can rely on your insurance agent. As an independent agency, S.E. Snyder in Rochester can represent you to several insurance companies, so we can get you the best coverage for the best price. We pride ourselves in customer service and honest sales, so you shouldn't feel pressured with an insurance quote. If you need a quote or have questions about the coverage you need, talk with us until you're satisfied. Call S.E. Snyder Insurance Agency in Rochester today at 724-774-3584.
I'm Tiani, and I'm equipped.
Hi, I'm John, and I'm a Bobcat.
Hi, I'm Cassie, and I'm a warrior.
I'm David, and I'm a warrior.
Hi, I'm Dominique, and I'm equipped.
This is Daniel from Hopewell, a proud Viking. Well, it's true that when it's game time, we might be on different sides. It's the other team that we are all part of, a team that will make a real difference once the season is over. That's because we are all training for a very long and profitable postseason at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center.
For 45 years now, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center has been creating top-notch performers from all local Beaver County high schools. Our spirited recruits have made the starting lineup and performed like all-stars in many different fields.
Why not join our team? Visit bcctc.org, celebrating 45 years as the best place to start a career. The Beaver County Career and Technology Center.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
And welcome back. I'm Angino, Mike Azadian with me in the booth, and the third person, part of our broadcast team, is Derek Rossiter. He is down on the field. Let's go to him now with the eXp Realty Sideline Report. Derek, what do you know?
Hey guys, how you doing? Looking forward to a really great game today. I did get a chance to speak with the coach from Beaver. I did ask him how his defense is prepared for this CV passing attack of an offense. He's expecting his defense to. He claims that CV's loaded, and he's looking for his guys to make the right big plays, stay with their assignments, and hope they can control the pace of the game there. I did also ask him, Travis Clear was perfect last week in their game against Hopewell, spreading the offense. Asked him how he could control the pace of the offense in this game to keep their defense off, to keep their offense off the field. He's looking for Travis to keep making some right reads, control the pace of the game, spread the ball out, and hope they trust his quarterback. He trusts his quarterback the whole game. So looking forward to a very good offensive game here. We'll see which defense brings up the best big play on defense.
Thank you very much, Derek. Do appreciate it. The Fisher's New Brighton Foodland pregame show continues on Beaver County Radio. And
tribute to Troy.
Well, we're about to hear the national anthem, I believe.
No,
not quite yet?
Not yet. Nope.
All right. We will pause it. A beautiful band here, maybe one of the largest bands that we've seen so far.
Oh, yeah. A nice band, great stadium, Sarge Albert Stadium. I mean, this is one of the first turf fields in this area. And
we begin this evening.
And let's see here. Let's give some props here. Wendy Lewis is the voice that you may be hearing in the background. She is the band director here at Central Valley. So let's talk about what Rouse just told Derek regarding what they need to be prepared for. When you look at the running backs that they have at Central Valley in Jance Henry and Mason Dixon, I mean, they lose Jance Henry for the week, and he's the guy who is the Pitt recruit. West Virginia, at least another 6 different schools, Division I, are interested in him. And Mason Dixon comes in, and he plays, and there's no loss of performance whatsoever.
I saw both of them last year, and Henry, as a freshman, you could tell he's going to be the next nice athlete coming through this program. As good as they are running the ball, if you try to stop the run, look how many guys they have at least 3 or 4 receptions. Dixon, Shearer, Hills, Nastic, Underwood, who's not playing tonight, Henry. They've so many guys. There are going to be a lot of one-on-one coverages. Beaver, as Court Rouse said, as we heard from Derek, they're going to have to do their assignments, because what will happen is a veteran quarterback is going to pick them apart. And Rutherford, who's starting tonight, but who it was iffy whether he would or not. So the quarterbacks will see from Central Valley. If they got a chance and there's a missed assignment, they're going to pick Beaver apart. So you got to watch for that.
Yeah, he was out last week because of an injury.
Yep.
And spoke with Coach Lyons earlier in the week, and he said, you know what, he was close to being ready, but we figured, you know what, let's just go ahead and play Braddock Ambrose and give Stephen Rutherford a rest.
Week with Rutherford out.
All right, we are now going to be hearing the national anthem. Once again, this is the Central Valley Marching Band under the direction of Wendy Lewis. Marching band under the direction of Wendy Lewis once again. Mike, you were talking about the number of receivers that Central Valley has and how there are so many of them that have multiple receptions. And it's not just the wide receivers. You're talking about running backs, the tight end, and the wide receivers led by Cole Hiltz. He is the leading receiver for Central Valley coming into tonight's game.
Yeah, you're right. And, you know, the thing about Central Valley is over the years, you know, when they had Robert Foster, when they had Whitehead, they had the receivers. They also employed them in the running game. They use the best athletes, and they use everybody. They try over the years, if they don't have that one stud guy, they use all the athletes. That way, you have to really prepare for everybody. It makes you a much better team. So Mark Lyons, when he has a good quarterback, they throw the ball a little bit more. Rutherford's arm might be a little sore now. They might run the ball a little more today. If they get into throwing downs, they will bring in Ambrose. So Beaver has to prepare for a lot of things. That makes it a difficult week for Beaver to prepare. But, of course, all that being said, a couple of turnovers here or there, and Beaver's in control of the game, and they can ground you down and take a lot of time off, as we saw last week.
Yeah, the skill players over at Beaver are just remarkable. We're talking about top-level recruits as well, going to Villanova and to Bucknell and Amari Jackson and Brady Mayo. We'll talk more about Beaver, the Bobcats, and how they got to their 2-1 start, and what you can expect to hear a lot from them this evening as the Fisher's New Brighton Foodland pregame show continues on Beaver County Radio.
Get ready to kick off your game day with everything you'll need for tailgate parties from Fisher's Foodland in New Brighton. Party trays, snacks, beverages. If you're looking for food ideas to make your tailgate party unforgettable, Fisher's has it all. Fisher's Foodland is a complete independently owned and operated grocery store focused on your daily needs for the whole family. Remember, football season is a great reason to visit Fisher's Foodland in New Brighton. There's exciting news. A new pharmacy in New Brighton just opened, Forward RX. It's an independent community pharmacy that fills prescriptions at transparent cost-plus pricing on many generic medications. No insurance or discount coupons needed. Brandon Anthonopoulos will discuss your needs and how Forward RX can help you save money. The pharmacy experience you deserve is more affordable than you think. Become a Forward member today. Stop in 809 3rd Avenue, New Brighton, or check their prices at FWDRX.com.
Getting into the lineup and making the team is easy at Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Training camp is starting and you are invited. This is Coach Andy Dangle and I'm looking for new teammates. Membership is open to many organizations and groups throughout the county. Join my team at Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Details and applications are available now. Visit Freedom United Federal Credit Union today. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
The sound of classic golden oldies and classic cars just naturally go together. Gary Snare and his professional team at Gnu's Body Works in Freedom is ready to help you relive those yesterday in style. They specialize in restoration and customization of all makes and models to make your dream.
From 4 till 7 p.m. for the Block Party, sponsored by the outreach of the Republican Committee of Beaver County.
Looking for that special home or wanting to sell yours? Let the Lisa Latham team, brokered by eXp Realty, help you. Hi, I'm Tank Latham, and our goal is to make you feel comfortable whether buying or selling. Lisa and I strive to make the process as smooth and as easy as possible. We invite you to visit the all-new eXp office located at 926 3rd Avenue, New Brighton. Give us a call at 724-307-5472. Check out Beaver County home inventory on our website, lisalatham.com. The Lisa Latham team, results that move you.
Welcome back to the Fisher's New Brighton Foodland pregame show on Beaver County Radio. I'm Mangino, Mike Azadian. We are at Central Valley and Beaver, and we were about 8.5 minutes or so from kickoff. We talked a bit about Central Valley and what they can be running up against with the Beaver Bobcats. We need to talk about what Beaver has and what they're bringing to the table. Last week when we saw them play against Hopewell, I mean, I don't know if dominant is a strong enough word. I mean, they only ran like 17 plays total on offense, 4 passing, 13 rushing, and then scored seemingly at will. The skill set off the charts at Beaver as well.
Yeah, they took advantage of a Hopewell team that didn't have a lot of depth. So the big thing with them is they have top flight talent in guys like Amari Jackson and Brady Mayo and Quaylen Kane. They're 3 main offensive targets, and they've got a junior quarterback, second-year starter, in Travis Clear. A strong offensive line. So if they can get a push on the line, get Kane going, and draw that defense in, that's what they did last week, and that opened up Jackson Mayo. Jackson's a special player. He's the kind of guy, you get him out in the open, you get him a one-on-one. I got a feeling Central Valley's going to try to choke him off and double-team him, but we might see a lot of end-arounds like we did last week. The guards pulling, trying to block for him. Kane will be a guy that will block for him as well. You want to get him with some speed behind him. That's the kind of thing you're probably going to see from Beaver when they have a chance. But I got a feeling this game is going to be a low-scoring defensive game. And the team that makes the least amount of mistakes wins. That's usually what happens in these games with top-flight competition.
But when it comes to defense on the Central Valley side, Ethan Shear is their leading tackler with 38 total tackles, 20 of them and solo, 3 of them for loss. And then you have Brandon Alexander, the defensive lineman. He's a D1 Power 5 guy that everybody's paying attention to. 288, 6'4". He's just a junior. And then Mason Dixon, as great as he is on offense, he is absolutely stellar on defense. And then on the flip side of things, Brady Mayo was wonderful last week from a defensive side as well as offensive. He leads the team in tackles, all conference from last year. And then Amari Jackson plays both ways too.
And that's it. And when you talk about guys like Mason Dixon, he's one of 2 or 3 guys that runs the ball. But a lot of times he doesn't get the credit he deserves because maybe not as many touches as other guys. And on defense, sometimes guys get lost in a shuffle on defense because everybody's good on defense, but he's the top talent, one of the top talents on the team when you're talking Central Valley. And, you know, you mentioned Mayo and Jackson. On defense, they're both tremendous defensive backs as well. You can see their speed. They're willing to come up and hit people. The key thing is they're going to need help from others as well. When you're playing top teams like this, it's got to be more than the stars making plays. You're going to have to see big plays from other guys.
This is the Frischers New Brighton Foodland pregame show. Coming up in a moment, we'll take a look at the Fry Transportation Update Desk and look at games from around the Beaver Valley on Beaver County Radio.
Back to school season means back to your credit union season. Before you pack the lunchbox, be sure and pack your wallet. Visit Friendly Federal Credit Union and get the cash supply you'll need so that you can buy the school supplies that they will need. This is Cindy Hiladio. Stop into the principal's office and see me to sign up for an easy-to-manage personal signature loan. They're now available from $500 to $10,000 with approved credit. Friendly Federal Credit Union, member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Tri-State Sporting Arms on Main Street in New Brighton is now open. Stop in and explore their extensive selection of high-quality firearms, pistols, and accessories. Tri-State Sporting Arms also pays top dollar for used firearms. Their experienced and highly trained staff is here to assist you in selecting the right firearm for you. Stop on down to Beaver County's newest firearm store, Tri-State Sporting Arms, at 807 3rd Avenue, New Brighton, or check them out on Facebook. When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it's hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season from your friends at Fry Transportation.
Looking for home services? Call Patriot Home Care in Beaver Falls. Company, conversation, and companionship to all patients, ensuring and fun community activities, personal care, meal prep, and light household work are all services provided by Patriot Home Care, all thanks to the hardworking and selfless team members. Call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or stop in Patriot Home Care, 1225 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls.
The Fishers New Brighton Foodland pregame show continues from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Games that we're looking at around the valley. We'll start off with Ambridge and Greensburg-Salem. They kick off in just minutes.
Greensburg-Salem undefeated. That's a big test for the Bridgers. Greensburg-Salem, one of the top 5 teams in 3A, along with these 2 teams, Avonworth and Amani Christian.
Aliquippa's on the road. They're crossing the county line. They're going over to Penn Hill to take on the Indians.
That's a game that a lot of people had anticipation for at the beginning of the year. But Penn Hill's now 1-3, struggling a little bit, so it might not be a big challenge for Aliquippa. They're the better team.
Blackhawk is welcoming York to come in. Cougars on Cougars.
It's going to be interesting. Both teams at 2-2. We've seen a good Blackhawk team and a bad Blackhawk team. Who shows up tonight?
Elwood City's traveling to Freedom, the Wolverines and the Bulldogs.
Elwood City, one of the better teams in 2A, one of the better teams in the MAC Conference. Dan Bradley has that team running on all cylinders. That should be all Elwood City.
Hopewell trying to get their act together after a disappointing loss to Beaver last week. They draw Avonworth.
Hopewell's a work in progress. Avonworth's going to look to get well after the beating they took to Aliquippa last week. But Hopewell as a team, we're going to see a lot of the next few years.
Moon's traveling to Seneca Valley. What do you think about Tigers and Raiders?
They're moving up in competition. Moon has a shot in that game. Seneca Valley is an average team. Moon's pretty good after last year's semifinal run. I look for Moon to give that. I look for that to be one of the better matchups tonight.
Olsh is hosting Ligonier Valley.
I think Olsh is favored in that game. They're at home. Lincoln River Valley is a long way from Olsh.
The Vikings of Valley and the Quaker Valley Quakers, both of them looking for a win.
Someone's going to get over the hump and get a win. The Quakers got to feel bad for them. They never seem to be able to rebuild with soccer so good there. Valley, their proud tradition has really suffered as of late. They've been struggling. They're rebuilding as well, but should be a competitive game between those two.
Two other schools that are having a difficult time dealing with the idea of not having wins in their marks in the win column. The Spartans of Laurel and the Rochester Rams.
Laurel's been competitive for a lot of years. It's a little unusual for them. They've lost some talent. Rochester, despite losing talent from the last few years' team, their roster is down. They have less freshmen than they did. They were missing their quarterback, their top two running backs. And when you're in single-A ball, when you're losing 3 of your top athletes, you're really losing 6 players. And this is unusual for Gene Matzook. But they're at home tonight, and this is a must-win for them if they want to make the playoffs.
Southside is traveling to Shenango. Any trouble with the Rams?
No, but Shenango's having a tough year after the tragedy they had up there, and Shenango's rebuilding as well. Southside, despite losing their quarterback from last year, they look to be one of the better teams in single A as well, and they're looking to get back not only to playoffs, but the championship game after what happened to them against Fort Cherry last year.
And it's all Indians in West Allegheny, Peters Township and West Allegheny.
Peters Township, last year's champion. West Allegheny, that's a big draw, seeing Peters Township come in. West A, they still really haven't gotten their mojo yet, so we're going to find out how good they really are. But Peters Township's really good right now.
And Western turned things on and got things together from that Week 0 game we covered. They travel to Union.
Yeah, they should have no issue with that. Union moving up in competition. The one thing about Western Beaver is when they played Ambridge has one of the better lines in 4A, and Western Beaver just wasn't ready for them. But they're very, very competitive where they're at right now. Western Beaver, one of the best.
eXp Realty Sideline Report. Let's go to Derek Rossiter. Derek, you had an opportunity to talk.
The arm injury, the team's looking good, and everybody's ready to play. The whole team's healthy, so we're ready.
Derek, thank you very much. And it is now set up for the kick. Central Valley is going to kick off to Beaver from your right to left as you are listening. If you are watching, then you see the kick taken up around the 4-yard line over the 15, getting close to the 20-yard line, and then taken down, so Beaver will get it 1st and 10 from their own 19-yard line. And it's going to be really interesting to see how these two teams match up in this very first drive.
I agree with you. We'll see if Beaver decides to establish the running game early, or if they want to try to test things and throw early. But looks like they have a 2 wide receiver set right now.
Starting front line for Beaver, Zachary Barnes, Aiden Connolly. He comes in with a 4.0 GPA. Anthony Rabbiton, Damian Lutton, his brother Gabe plays defense, starts for them. And Jonathan Pashuta, another one, with a 4.0 GPA. They are the 5 that will anchor the line to be protecting Travis Clear and making room for Quaylen Kane. Clear takes a snap, hands it off over that right side, and Central Valley was right there.
Yeah.
Nothing was happening on that play.
Well, the man in motion was a blocker, and they basically dictated exactly where they're going to run the ball to, and it did not work at all. No gain.
Ethan Shearer shot the gap on that one and made it for a no gain, setting up a 2nd and 10 for the Bobcats of Beaver as they look over to the sideline to get the play, waiting for the signal to come in, and now they get set up. Shotgun formation one more time for Travis Clear. 2 wide receivers, 1 wide each direction. Fakes the handoff, play action, out to the flat. Caught, up over the 30, 35, and finally tackled down. Great catch by Brady Mayo out in the flat, getting that first down for Beaver.
I got to tell you what, the defender on the play, Makai Ahmed, broke off from man coverage, and he kind of dropped back and from press coverage to more of a zone coverage and looked towards the middle, seemed confused. They threw it to Mayo, and Mayo easily got the first down. So I don't know if that's a missed assignment or what, but Mayo went right around him.
And Mayo holding his hand as he goes to the sideline, immediately met by the trainer, and they're going to take a look at that.
Not a good
and
situation.
Now 1st and 10 for Beaver from their 37-yard line. Handoff. And great penetration once again by the Central Valley Warriors defense. Brandon Alexander, the junior, 6'4", 288, shooting the gap and taking down Drake Hall. He met him 3-4 yards in the backfield.
Well, Brandon comes from a long line of Alexanders that do the job there, and are very talented kids. They're going to have a tough time containing him all night. But right now, 2 big plays up the middle, and twice they've not been able to run them up the middle against Central Valley.
Amari Jackson is wide to the left. His number hasn't been called yet. It looks as though a throw may be going his way. They're going deep to him. A man's covering him, and just in and out of the hands of Amari Jackson all the way down near the 15-yard line.
Double coverage and a third guy within 15 yards. That's how much they think of him. They saw the tape we saw last week.
Forward, it was recovered by Central Valley. He's stumbling over on the 5. Touchdown. Number 51, Tyler Ondrusik, all-conference defensive lineman for Central Valley. Getting that ball, it looked as though he picked it up right out of the air. Travis Clear was hit as he was going back. The ball went up in the air, went forward, so either way it's a fumble or forward pass. And then Ondrusik taking it and running it back.
That's one of those things that, is he back far enough? Is he going forward with it? He had it up in the air, but he wasn't going forward. That's a fumble and a recovery of 30 yards for Ondrusik. And just like that, what do we talk about? Now we've got whistles for the officials. They're going to talk something over, but just like that, first big play of the game, first turnover. Their defense stands tall. They forced it.
The snap, the hold, the kick, it is up, and the kick is good. Central Valley up 7-0 over the Bobcats of Beaver. More coming up on Beaver County Radio.
Beaver County Radio and the Pennsylvania Hot Rod Company, along with AK Nahas, are teaming up to present Cruisin' on the Ridge. Saturday, September 21st will be the final car cruise of the year, so make plans to come out and send summer out with a bang. If you have collected all of the dash plaques, you will be entered into a special drawing to win a special prize. Cruisin' on the Ridge will be from 12 to 4 p.m. at Beaver County Radio Studios at 4301 Dutch Ridge Road in Brighton Township. Beaver County Radio's Solid Gold Saturday host J.D. Merkel will be spinning tunes in the parking lot. There will also be food trucks, prize giveaways, raffles, and a 50-50. Cruisin' on the Ridge is being brought to you in part by Falcone's Moon Township Ford, eXp Realty, the Beaver County Transit Authority, Shop and Save Beer and Wine, the Rochester True Value Hardware Store, Friendly Federal Credit Union, AK Nahas Furniture and Appliance, the Pennsylvania Hot Rod Company, and Beaver County Radio.
7-0. Valley on a turnover going up on Beaver, and now the kickoff. Once again, Don Pratt responsible for all the kickoff duties. Tremendous leg for the sophomore. The ball is back. It is deep. It is taken by Quaylen Kane at the 10. Up over the 15 to the 20, looking for some room. Cutting through the 25 and out close to the 30-yard line. They're going to call him down right around the 29 at midfield.
Pretty good return for about 19 yards. This from the sideline from Derek Mayo. Brady Mayo in obvious pain with his left hand. And he's unsure of the return right now for him. And I think he got hurt when he hit the ground. Pretty sure.
Yeah, he is out right now, and Philip Morris is in for him at wide receiver on the near side. Marino is in the slot formation. Man in motion, handoff once again to Hall. Hall up close to the 40-yard line, close to first down yardage. And they're waving the sticks on, so first down for Beaver.
And that's what you like to see. You don't want to always rely on having to do it on third down. So getting first downs after you get a good first down yardage for them, trying to sustain a drive.
Twin wide receivers to the left. Shotgun. And Quaylen Kane back in. And he's about a yard and a half, for those of you who are listening on radio, about a yard and a half behind Travis Clear to his left side. Pitches it out to him, looking for some room. And once again, great penetration by Central Valley, but he's able to split it and pick up 5 yards.
Well, he had a couple blockers, was able to get a seal there. Philip Marino with one of the blocks. Also on that side, I think it was Jackson. But the thing is, you got to get your speed guy to the left. They're not running up in through the middle against the Central Valley defense. So you're going to try to get your speed guys to the left and right. We saw it with Mayo earlier. We just saw it with Dre Hall, and now we see it with Quaylen Kane.
Shotgun formation, twin wide receivers to the right. Man in motion and Isaac Sessi, handoff right up the middle. That ball given to Quaylen Kane and a pickup of maybe 1, setting up a 3rd and 4.
Yeah, good stop by the Warriors. Now you're Beaver. What do? You stay with the run, which has pretty much been stopped by Central Valley so far. Or do you do a short pass play? Or do you do an end around like they've been known to do? Got Micah Poopy in the game as well as a receiver.
Same formation. This time, running back goes out to the left flat. Clear is all by himself in the backfield, looking over the defense. They set up a screen on that left side, and Central Valley read it perfectly. A loss of 3, maybe 4 on that play. So Central Valley, Jonah Justice, the tight end, 215 junior, was the injured player. He walked off under his own power. And now Beaver will be set up for the punt. Amari Jackson is set deep. He is waiting on his 17-yard line. And to return is Meki Ahmed, number 33. Snap, kick is away, and it is taken after Ahmed goes back about 5 yards, makes the first man miss, now over the 30, and finally ridden out of bounds around the 33-yard line. So now Central Valley gets it for the first time, 1st and 10 from their own 33.
Well, now it's our first chance to see Beaver on defense. They moved the ball, got a couple of first downs, but got bottled up as Central Valley defense held again. So right now, 1 fumble and 1 touchdown for Central Valley. The first time we see them here. And we'll see what their offense brings.
I want to thank everybody who's listening on 1230 AM or 99.3 FM. Don't forget, you can also watch this game on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Just look up Beaver County Radio. Nice run play by Central Valley. First time with the ball. Henry over the right side. Has plenty of room. 1 man to beat. Did it. Got to the corner. And all the way over past the 40 to the 35-yard line. What a pickup by Jance Henry.
You know, what did we talk about with Central Valley, with Beaver? Speed guys to the outside, same thing there. You get Jance Henry, 1 year removed from being a freshman part-time starter. Now he's a full-time sophomore starter, and he's got speed. He's not the tallest guy out there at 5'8", but he's grown some from last year. He's 204 and a small package. And boy, he ran around that right side, but it's getting called back, Robert.
Yes, it is. Holding penalty on that. And it may have been the reason why he was able to get so wide open. Jarius Baker and Nolan O'Neill, they're juniors. They're on the right side at right tackle and right guard, respectively. No word on who the penalty was called on, setting up a second now and what looks to be about 13 yards. Rutherford back, looking, throws it, has a man open right around the original line of scrimmage, and then finally taken down. Cole Hill.
And field judge William Bill Kennedy.
It's a 3rd and long for Central Valley, 6 yards to go. We were told that we can expect to see a little bit of Braddock Ambrose, but he is not in at this point, and now Central Valley decided to take a timeout. We will take a timeout with them. Back with more. Central Valley up 7-0 on Beaver County Radio.
How can I help my child to make positive choices?
Start with a conversation. Start making the difference.
Beaver County Parents, is your child between the ages of 10 and 14? If so, Keystone Wellness Programs is offering the Strengthening Families program in your area. This free program is designed for families to have fun together while learning ways to promote family bonding and communications. For more information about upcoming sessions near you, visit Keystone Wellness Programs.
Now, shotgun formation for Stephen Rutherford. Man in motion. Tailback. Decides to keep it himself. Runs over that right side and isn't able to get anywhere. Nice tackle. That was Dre Hall on the defensive side of things. Plays outside linebacker for the Bobcats and is able to have first down.
Well, what they did was they sent 2 receivers, one on the far left, one on the far right, in deep, long sideline patterns all the way downfield to try to draw more defenders down there and open up that middle. But Beaver didn't bite. They single covered them, and it was a run play all along. So advantage Beaver on that one. But it looks like they may go for it here and not punt.
4th and 1, and it is a decent one to go. But they have a lot of confidence in that offensive line. They go over the left side, over the back of the seniors. They get 2 yards on that play.
They get it.
Brandon Alexander is at left tackle once again. He's the guy with all the D1 Power 5 looks. He's a returning starter. Tyler Ondrusik, a 3-year starter, a senior as well. And Mike Bendakovic, a returning starter. All of these guys, the lightest one is 235. Then you got Brendan Alexander at 288. Central Valley now 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Tight end, flank back, man in motion now. Snap, fakes the handoff, play action, has a man open around the 50, caught and finally knocked out of bounds. Nice reception there and pushed out of bounds by Amari Jackson.
Those two are as the line play. The Central Valley getting a tremendous push, opening up a lot of room for Rutherford and Jance Henry. And Jance Henry's got a lot of speed. He bursts through the holes and another first down. And boy, I tell you, they drive down here. They could have 14-0 before the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, the offensive line so much bigger than the front four for Beaver, outweighing them by about 30, 40 pounds on average. Rutherford back, finds a man open, but not able to. Is realizing this is not Hopewell.
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing. It's not Hopewell. Central Valley, and a lot of people look at Central Valley like, oh, they're 0-3. Oh, they weren't playing well. But look who they played. They played some top flight competition in Montour, Thomas Jefferson, and Bell Vernon, and lost some tough games to those guys. And they're geared to go after the win against McGuffey last week. Mm-hmm. They're ready.
Rutherford under center. It was a read option play, and he decided to hand it off, and Jance Henry takes it around the left side, right outside Brandon Alexander, and gets the touchdown. That looked way too easy.
Way too easy. Jance Henry, 13-yard touchdown. The fireworks go off. We get him pregame. We get him after touchdowns. We've got the fire truck behind us. This is a fun
impact when you're hitting the defenders.
He's a sophomore. I mean, you got to figure he's got 2 more years to grow and to get bigger. He puts another 20 pounds on, another couple of inches, and if he has any kind of growth spurt, he's going to go where he wants to go.
So Central Valley now 14-0. You were talking about how they started off 0-3, and it was a difficult start. They played at Montour, and they lost 24-14, but once again, a 4 had to going 0-3 against these big schools. And then there's obviously the negative side. The positive side is that can you learn from it?
Right.
The negative side of things is what happens if you start doubting yourself, your teammates, and the system.
And that's the thing. When you go and have a staff that he does with so many veteran coaches, and he's a veteran coach himself, these guys are ready. He's going to have his team prepared no matter what. They know against a top flight competition, that's going to make them better for the regular season and the playoffs. They're going to be much more ready to handle the rigors of the playoffs than other teams will now.
Kickoff by Don Pratt, taken by Central Valley, up 14-0 on Beaver County Radio.
Looking for that special home or wanting to sell yours? Let the Lisa Latham team, brokered by eXp Realty, help you. Hi, I'm Tank Latham, and our goal is to make you feel comfortable whether buying or selling. Lisa and I strive to make the process as smooth and as easy as possible. We invite you to visit the all.
He has been really stellar on defense. Travis Clear, shotgun formation, back to pass over to his left side, finds a man. Amari Jackson catches it and just cannot get away from the defender, but still catches and picks up 6 yards.
Still no Brady Mayo. Micah Poopy on the right side where Mayo was, and also Philip Marino. So obviously, for the time being, Mayo out of the game. And right now, it's the Central Valley defense and the line that has really been the story of this game.
Shotgun overlooking the defense and deciding to reset and look over to the sideline for a play adjustment. Ryan Mayo to the right, man in motion, and play action, pass out to the flat and caught. Isaac Sessi got that, knocked out of bounds right around the 47-yard line of Central Valley. This drive's looking good.
Sessi, one of their backup running backs, but he's in there, and that ball was thrown a little high. One hand brought it in because Clear was really pressured.
And Isaac Sessi, it looks as though when he ran out of bounds and was taken down, he's still down on the side, back where, behind where the players would stand and all. And it looks as though right now they're trying to figure out whether or not they're going to hold the play up at this point. Derek Rossiter is on the sideline with the eXp Realty sideline report. Derek, what do you have?
Very, very talented young man, a very quiet young man, but you see his talent on plays like that. He's able to bring it in. You hear the big cheers from their student section.
And it looks as though they're coming back, though.
Yep.
The Beaver offense is marching back to the original line of scrimmage around the 48 as the referees are talking about this and determining what they're going to call. I originally thought it was going to be a pass interference call, the way that Amari went up there to get it and he was able to separate defenders. Here is the official word from the referee, Darren Tadalo.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Bobcats.
So we have interference and unsportsmanlike against the Bobcats. So it looks like the interference, they're claiming that he went up for it and was keeping the defender from being able to get the ball himself, and then the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Really
he was pretty happy with himself after he got done with the catch.
He was, but that's going to really drive them back. That's going to not only negate that and take them from about the 30-yard line of Central Valley, that's going to bring them back to about, let's see where they're going to mark this. And I don't know if they still have not marked it officially yet. They're talking about it. I'm going to guess probably around their own 37, maybe.
Yeah, so the officials are now marching this off.
Nope, they're going to march it off. Oh, wow, it's going to be further than I thought.
Yes, because you have one penalty, pass interference, that was inside the play.
Wow.
And then you have a post-play foul of the unsportsmanlike.
Wow.
So they're all the way back now.
Second down and 35. 35. And let me tell you something. He beat the coverage. He was at least a yard past those three. The ball was just a little bit overthrown and too much to the left of the sideline. If that ball's on target, that's a first down and much, much more.
So Brady Mayo, the loss is rather considerable for Beaver with 12 receptions, 130 yards in receiving, 3 touchdowns, and he's also big as a run threat too, averaging 6'9" a carry for the Bobcats. So Travis clear, third down, 35, whistle.
I think it's a timeout
we're
by
waiting
somebody.
to see.
No, it was a flag.
Delay of game.
Boy.
So now it's 3rd and 40.
This could be the difference. Well, you know, if they have to punt from back here and Central Valley scores.
I want to remind everyone that's
runaway.
listening, and even if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, because you can't see the down markers anymore, their original line of scrimmage was their own 47. They are now at their own 17. Back to pass, scrambling, looking for somewhere to throw it. Does, and it looks as though it was intercepted. No, it was caught and first step out of bounds.
Yeah.
But now it's 4th down, and now the Bobcats are looking to punt.
Remember
this
series. If they don't come back and win this game, or Central Valley scores here, either before the end of the first quarter or into the early second quarter, it makes it a 3-score game, because they had the ball to bounce back about 3 yards. That's a very good punt, and Central Valley now has to go at least half the field. So Beaver got a little bit of a break there, but they need a defensive stance really bad right now. They cannot afford to have Central Valley come down and score, because I think it's going to be hard for them to climb back from a 3-score deficit.
Rutherford under center. Jance Henry in the backfield. Henry has it over that left side, finds a crease, able to pick up 7 yards once again, running behind Brandon Alexander and Tyler Andrusik.
He goes left, sees that there's not a lot of room left, and he cuts back a small little bit of room, and he stutter steps and goes right and gets the extra 4 or 5 yards that he wouldn't have got. Because of his speed, he got an extra 4 or 5 yards. That's what speed does for you.
So Mark Lyons, head coach of Central Valley, also the offensive coordinator. He takes great pride in calling the plays for Central Valley. Stephen Rutherford now is in the shotgun. 2nd and 3, maybe 4 to go. Decides to keep it himself, nowhere to go. Tackled for a loss of about 1. Colton Robinson, the 6'3", 265-pound junior, in on the tackle.
Well, they must have seen something on tape that they knew that was going to be a play that wasn't going to be a handoff, and that was going to be a Rutherford play. So a couple of guys sniffed it out. They beat the offensive lineman. No real push there. Brings a 3rd and 5.
Maybe an inch or 2.
And that ends the first quarter.
Yes, it does. 14-0 Central Valley over Beaver after 1 on Beaver County Radio.
We all know there's an advantage to being the home team, to playing at home. And at LGKG, we have been your home team for over 90 years.
We're more than just a law firm. We're your friends, your neighbors, an advocate when life takes an unexpected turn.
We're not just lawyers that practice law. We live in this community, just like you.
When you need us most, we're at our best.
The unexpected happens. When it does, you have peace of mind that you can rely on your insurance agent. As an independent agency, S.E. Snyder in Rochester can represent you to several insurance companies, so we can get you the best coverage for the best price. We pride ourselves in customer service and honest sales, so you shouldn't feel pressured with an insurance quote. If you need a quote or have questions about the coverage you need, talk with us until you're satisfied. Call S.E. Snyder Insurance Agency in Rochester today at 724-774-3584.
Courtesy of Matt Roach, the owner/operator of the Chick-fil-A Beaver Valley Mall. Congratulations.
So it looks as though we do not have a first down. Initially, it clearly looked as though he had plenty of yards, plenty of distance to be able to get that.
Soon, but you got to hope, well, he's right-handed, so you got to hope it doesn't hurt his shooting hand for basketball. His other top sport, along with baseball.
So they're saying that he is short just by a couple of inches.
Yeah, they'll go for it here.
Our sideline reporter, Derek Rossiter, is going to go over to the sideline at Beaver and see if we're able to get more a firm confirmation of what may be the injury for Mr. Mayo once again. Brady Mayo leading the team in tackles and a pivotal part of their offense, not only receiving but also rushing. If you missed it early in the game within the first number of plays, hurt his wrist after catching a ball and then was holding on to it, ran over to the sideline, and we have not seen him since. There have been a couple of
yes.
And they wanted to make sure they specifically took the ball and remarked it with just the same distance.
And
to
that's
go
why
for
they
that
have
fourth
those
down.
extra chains on there. And for anybody that's ever done the sticks, there's extra chains on there for markings, and they know exactly where it should be. That's why those guys are taught not to move at all from where they're at.
And the officials say the play can resume. Rutherford under center. Henry behind him. He decides to keep it himself and plows forward on the keeper and picks up an easy 3-4 yards on that play. They're calling him all the way into about the 28-yard line, just outside the 28-yard line.
Finish the Fry Transportation Instant Update Desk. Peters Township 7-0 over West Allegheny. Western Beaver 7, Union 6. All first half scores.
Rutherford back under center. Henry, top of the formation, bounces it outside, makes a man miss, and then gets outside again and gets all the way down to the 25-yard line. Philip Marino came up to lay a hit on him, and then Jance Henry did a little bit of a juke move, bounced it back outside, and he picked up a...
Well, plain and simple, they've had an offensive line push. They've been able to pretty much do what they want. 0 for 1, 0 for 1 for 2 on passing. You're a running team. They don't really need to pass. You're up 14-0. Why put the ball in the air when you don't have to when you're running like you are? They've benefited from Beaver's mistakes and penalties, and right now pushing for a 3-score lead.
Rutherford under center, I formation behind him. Handoff, this one, Mason Dixon, and a pickup of about 2. The official word from the Beaver bench is that he is
just a hand injury.
Hand injury, and he's not on the sideline, and he's just dealing with. Was able to chase down Rutherford as he was able to corral that errant snap that looked as though it was a punt snap.
First big mistake by Central Valley. So that's going to really make Central Valley have to go further. But the one thing is, Central Valley's been great at eating up time on the ground. They're great at grinding things out. So now they have a lot further to go. And Beaver needs to hold them here. 3rd and 8, they need a big third down play. Plain and simple. They cannot afford Central Valley to keep pushing this up.
Yeah, it's 3rd and long. Play clock, the game.
And make a perfect pass.
Yeah, Cole Hiltz, it was the man who caught that pass. He's the team's leading receiver, coming in with 7 receptions, 106 yards, and a touchdown. And that's a highlight reel right there.
And he had at least a yard on the defensive back, too. Perfect pass, great route run.
1st and goal from the 9. Dive up the middle to about the 6-yard line.
You know, last year, Beaver's bugaboo was Avonworth. Lost to them at home in a tough game, lost to them on the road in a tough playoff game. Could have won either game. Both games were decided by a player or two. Now Central Valley comes from 4A down to 3A. They're going to be in their conference the next couple of years, and they're going to have to contend with them and Avonworth. So Beaver comes into the year with high hopes, and now here in the first half, they're getting pushed around a little bit.
So it's 2nd and goal from the 6, 7:38 to go in the second quarter, running clock, handoff, nope, fakes it, Rutherford looking, keeping, running into the end zone, touchdown, Stephen Rutherford on a 6-yard run, and now the Warriors are up 20-0.
They made that look easy. I got to tell you.
The extra point attempts on the season, 21-0, the Warriors over the Bobcats. More coming up on Beaver County Radio.
After any big game, people will be talking. This is Ellen Bross from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. The same is true when you get your new vehicle from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Neighbors, friends, and co-workers will notice the new winning style reflected in the car, truck, or SUV you just got from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Located on University Boulevard, across from Robert Morris. Click and save at moonford.com and discover what the talk is all about. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
21-0. Central Valley showing that they can take adversity and long plays where 3rd and 38 convert and then turn it into a score where Beaver in a similar situation just couldn't.
Ball
and
control and one big pass play. Additions to the Fried Transportation Instant Update Desk. Valley, the Vikings up 12-6 over the Quakers. Peters Township now up 14-0 over the Indians. Avonworth now 28-0 over Hopewell. And that is all the new scores.
And so Don Pratt ready to kick. And we have Amari Jackson and Quaylen Kane back to receive, but it's taken by one of the upmen at the 25-yard line. He finds some room, gets through a couple of defenders all the way out near the 45-yard line on that one. That was Micah Poopy, number 7, 6'3", 180, a junior, showing that the up guys can take care of the football too.
Think about this for a second. Central Valley's had the ball twice, scored on a fumble recovery touchdown. If Beaver goes 4 and out here and Central Valley scores before the end of this half and goes up 4 scores, don't forget Central Valley gets the ball first in the second half. That's going to
Central Valley just putting on a clinic tonight. 21-0, 7:22 to go until halftime.
Beaver needs to sustain a drive here, Robert. There's no doubt about it. Even if they don't score, they have to keep Central Valley, keep the ball out of their hands.
Twin wide receivers to the left. And a quick pitch outside, and that is not going anywhere. There was an attempt by Amari Jackson in the Wildcat to take the snap and then pitch it out to Dre Hall, and that didn't accomplish much of anything. Loss of 1.
The big word there is pursuit. How about the ball pursuit? Not 1, not 2, not 3, 5 Central Valley players just running right to the ball. They weren't fooled. And when you have to go by 3 and 4 and 5 guys every play, that's mighty tough.
Snap. Amari Jackson takes it over the right side in the Wildcat. He gets first down yardage, picks up about 11 yards on that play. Getting him the ball consistently, one way or another, is absolutely critical.
That's big, and he just got the first down. And I was just thinking the same thing, Robert. And you got to figure, clear is not
now trailing 21-6.
2 of the fastest guys on the team. Not only did he throw a sidearm pass to him, and he got the ball and outran guys that had the beat on him. He pushed him away with a forearm, and he tiptoes down the sideline for the touchdown. Boy, that gets them right back in this.
The kick by Tykowski is up, and the kick is good. He is now 19 for 19 on the season. Absolutely perfect. I think Quaylen Kane getting a little upset because he's been hearing about Jance Henry and all this D1 look that he's getting from Pitt, West Virginia, and other schools. And Quaylen Kane saying, listen, this 6'1", 190 senior, I'm getting my D1 looks too.
He's faster than people think. Because a lot of times you see him hitting the line and then getting 6 and 7 yards. But when you get him a chance to get the ball out like that, that's a very innovative play. We have not seen anything like that all game long. And Court Rouse reaches deep down into his playbook. And Central Valley had not seen that. And keep that in the back of your mind. Kane to the outside. Kane as a receiver. And Amari Jackson threw a nice pass to him.
Yeah, when you have Amari Jackson with the speed that he has and Kane in the backfield at the six, is completely confused about who do you go to then, because you have to be on the alert for both of them. And this gives the Bobcats an opportunity here where instead of just having the running back and maybe throw to Amari Jackson, to have both of them be able to get their hands on the ball.
Right, you figure with
play.
Mayo out of the game, it looks like he's probably out of the game for the whole game. We'll see. You got to get the ball in your playmaker's hands, and those two handled it.
The kick is away, and it is taken at about the 13-yard line, up the middle, makes a man miss, bounces it back to the right, over to the 30, trying to get to the 35, and about Jance Henry on that run. And
sorry. New scores on the Fried Transportation Instant Update Desk. Laurel now 7-6 over. Wait a minute, they're changing scores on me here. I'll get back to that. Hold on a second.
All right. 1st and 10 now for Central Valley. 3 wide receivers stacked over to the right. Handoff. Nope. Cups it. Rutherford has it by himself over the 50, 45, close to the 40-yard line. Here come a couple of flags on the play. It looks as though it's going to be a holding.
Yes.
Rutherford had a great run. He fooled everybody. Got outside, picked up great yardage, and
that's coming back.
Trying to get a couple of extra yards. The wide receivers out there blocking. It looks as though there may be a holding penalty out there.
Yeah, that's coming back. No doubt about that. You can see that from a mile away. 2 guys threw the flags. Again, from the Fried Transportation Instant Update Desk, the new score, the updated score is going to be Laurel 7-6 over Rochester.
There is an injured Warrior on the play. So as they tend to him, how about if we pause for 30 seconds and we'll come back. 21-7, the Warriors over the Bobcats on Beaver County Radio.
Can you afford to put off repairs or replacement of your roof? This is Diane Ireland of Ireland Contracting. With interest rates going up, take advantage of our 12-month same as cash or financing up to 10 years. Add that skylight, change the siding, or update the windows. My husband Gary and I are so confident of our expert craftsmanship that we put the family name on our business. Call 1-800-NEW-ROOF or visit IrelandContracting.com. Ireland Contracting, we got you covered.
The injured player for Central Valley was Stephen Rutherford, shaken up. He's walking off, just a little bit of assistance, and Braddock Ambrose, the star from last week, who went 13 of 15 for 224 and 5 total touchdowns without an interception, is now stepping in for him.
And how he runs.
I think he looks like a Tony Dorsett to me.
Well, I was going to say Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders is another good one, too.
He stops, he cuts real quick, makes a move left, makes a move right. That's kind of how Sanders did, and he got a few extra yards because of that. But, boy, he's able to shed blockers, shed tacklers with ease.
Under center, handoff, bouncing it outside. Jance Henry looking for some room, able to pick up a yard, and that's all on that one.
Yeah, Beaver
Big number 62, Mason Ho, get on that tackle.
Yeah, Beaver needs to stop bad. They really do. They need a turnover. They need a stop. It cannot.
Good for a gain of 1.
afford to have them march down and score again. They're working on Rutherford's right ankle, not left leg.
It looks as though they're just taping him up. He's ready to get back in there as soon as his tape
Very
job
possible.
is done. But Ambrose under center, pistol formation. And now looking back over to the sideline, wanting to make sure that Mark Lyons has the right play call. Now under center. And an out pattern and just overthrows his receiver and a pass interference on the play. So you have pass interference against the Bobcats.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that this is doing. With Rutherford in and out of the game, obviously a talented kid. Braddock Ambrose, only a sophomore. He's going to, obviously, if things go as planned, he'll be the starter the next 2 years as Rutherford a senior. It gives him great game experience against good teams, but pass interference. But he did get 3. He was bottled up. They got him 3. They got to bottle him up again. But again, 4-down territory here, unless Central Valley decides that they don't want to go for it and kick a field goal. But I would imagine from this point, you're going to use all 4 downs to try to get that first down.
3 minutes, 45 seconds, running clock. Handoff. Nope. Fake the handoff to Mason Dixon. Ambrose keeps it around that right side, out to the sideline, down inside the 5-yard line, and another first down for the Warriors.
The play calling, we talked about Mark Lyons, but it just seems to, every time you think they're going to run up the middle, they have a fake. Every time you think they're going to run, they throw. Every time you think they're going to do one thing, they do another. So Mark Lyons has mixed things up quite well here tonight.
He sure has. When you have 2 quarterbacks that could be starters on any team, and then you have 2 running backs that could be starters on any team, there are a lot of options for you. Pitch out to Mason Dixon, makes the man miss, bounces it into the end zone, touchdown, Mason Dixon.
Okay.
They are sending a player off the field. And they're replacing him.
I got to say that Beaver just looked a little beat down on that one. Not a lot of resistance. And they're having a lot of trouble. Big gaps to run through. Central Valley's dominating them on the offensive line.
The snap, the hold, the kick, it is up off the left upright. And so the kick is no good. Don Pratt on the attempt now, 13 of 15, 7-7 with 3:32 to go until halftime. The Warriors on the Bobcats on Beaver County Radio.
Your Beaver County McDonald's restaurants are proud to partner with Beaver County Radio in sponsoring all the local high school football games this season. Stop into any of your local McDonald's restaurants for everyday value items like 2 for $3 mix and match, sausage burrito, sausage McMuffin, and hash browns. Don't forget to download the app for extra special savings. Looking for a great part-time job? Visit mchire.com today to apply. Good luck to all the Beaver County football teams this season.
He looks to be ready to go back in, from what I can tell.
Thank you very much. Do appreciate that. Don Pratt ready to kick. And then back deep, we have Amari Jackson and Quaylen Kane.
I look at it like if he's not 100% and he's limping and you're up by 20 points, do you really need him to go back in right now?
Yeah. The kick is away. It is a grounder taken up by one of the upmen on the right side. He gets it, crosses the 35 out to the 40-yard line, maybe to the 43. Nice return there by number 21, Junior Marino.
I got to say again, and I'll use that word again, pursuit. When you watch Central Valley go after the ball, 4 and 5 guys pursuing. They're not waiting for him to come to them. When Beaver a few times, they're waiting for the runner to get near them to make the tackle. Their pursuit isn't there. That's a big difference on defense. And I don't know if we have a timeout here or something going on, Robert, but maybe it's an official timeout, but both teams went to the sideline.
All right, we'll take a timeout with them.
Yep.
All right, 3:28 to go until halftime, 27-7 on Beaver County Radio.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers at Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca. Dial 724-774-3200 and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors, LiftMaster garage door openers, and over 50 years experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Electric Garage Door Sales. Give them a call at 724-774-3200 or find them online at electricgaragedoorsales.com.
So Beaver has it 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Once again, they are going from right to left. If you are listening, if you are watching on Facebook or on YouTube, if you are not and you want to, then all you have to do is go to the Facebook page or the YouTube channel for Beaver County Radio, and it's there for you. Just that easy. All right, so now Amari Jackson once again in the Wildcat. Clear out to the right side. Throws it again out to the flat. And Clear gets it, makes a man miss, is only able to get back to the line of scrimmage before he is taken down.
I got to tell you, if that throw is not behind him, he probably gets close to a first down, but he had to reach behind him, almost stop, and he turned around and ended up getting 2 yards. But he got that ball probably 3 or 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, if it wasn't of the field, and then cut back left to the center of the field, and then make another cut and get open ground, and no one would catch him. That was another terrific run.
Kick is up, and the kick is good. And now it is 27-14. What set that play up was the fact that Amari Jackson on 3 different occasions threw that pass out to the flat, that little bit of a lateral, if you will, behind the line of scrimmage to Quaylen Kane. That time he faked it. The entire defense went to the left side to chase down Kane, and then Amari Jackson was by himself over on the right side.
He still went that way, and he still managed to beat 5 or 6 guys. I mean, there were 4 guys waiting to come at him and pursue him like we talk about, and he just made a cut and then came back to the center of the field and then just simply outran them. And I think we're going to go for fast. It's like an antelope.
The kick is away, and it is taken at the 10-yard line, fumbled, and then picked back up again. Making a man miss, stopping, then turning around, and then getting out close to the 37-yard line. So that return by Jance Henry. No, I'm sorry, not Jance Henry.
1st and 10 for the Warriors.
That return
Ball on the 36-yard line.
out to the 36-yard line. So now Central Valley has it.
You're talking about 16-yard return. Good job by Central Valley to set them up. See if they have enough time to drive down and get another score. Wouldn't be surprised to see another pass play. I believe Rutherford in. Yep, Rutherford.
And now the handoff, this one going to Jance Henry. Able to get maybe a yard, 2. The officials will give him almost 3 on that one. That was a dive play right up the middle.
Game's turn, and Beaver
makes a man miss. He's off to the races now. 45, caught from behind around the 40-yard line. Taken down by Quaylen Kane.
Well, he's too quick, boy.
He may have been the only one who could catch him.
Mason Dixon is another guy, a senior. I remember last year when it was Dixon and Henry, and sometimes you couldn't tell who was running between the both of them. Both fast. Both with a lot of talent, both with quick ball to go. They got a realistic chance to go up 3 scores again.
So they now have it, 2nd and 2. Ball's on the 30. Handoff up the middle and immediately stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Great defense by the Bobcats on that play.
We talked about it. You know, if Central Valley scores here and goes up 3 touchdowns, they get the ball again.
3rd and 2.
They did it first in the second half. It's to stop them here. And Central Valley not in a big rush. They're taking their time, getting the call in. They're confident. Adam
exactly. Last year.
If they win this one, it'll be 3 wins. They struggled mightily last year. We got a timeout on the field. A team that new coach, some new blood in there. They did graduate some talent, but they bring back a lot of young kids that played the last couple years. A couple years ago, I remember seeing them against Aliquippa and other teams, against Montour and some teams. They just didn't have it. They had too many young kids. But they seem to be better for it now. A team that could be pushing for a playoff spot. We'll see. Things have turned in Beaver County. New Brighton good again. Riverside good again. Blackhawk seems to be competitive and good again. Hopewell on the way up. Beaver very competitive. Rochester down a little bit, but it's always better when more teams are competitive, and we see that Ambridge more competitive than they've been. It is really hard from talking to these coaches to turn programs around. it's easier to coach when everybody wants to play for your crowd, and you get 3,000 people with a game like here in Aliquippa. But when you're trying to bring a program up from the ground up, it is really hard. Riverside's coach said he went to every single other team's practice, and he went from 30 kids to 50 kids. That's what you have to do. You have to have numbers, you have to have depth, and you have to get the kids to believe in you, and it's hard.
Central Valley setting up 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Rutherford, shotgun. Man to his right, takes a snap, fakes the handoff, flag on the play. Movement by Central Valley.
Yep.
Coming up, the Al's Pizza.
34-6. Fry Transportation Incident Update Desk Blackhawk.
Up the middle. And a timeout, Central Valley.
Yeah, and they call a timeout, of course, obviously. So now you've got it 3rd down and about 10. So I would think they have another timeout left. I believe they do. So they could run it again and hope for a 1st down. I suspect they might throw here. Now their kicker is warming up on the sideline for a field goal attempt. From where they're at right now would be a 40-yard attempt. So I don't know if he has the leg for that or not, but...
Of 35, their place kicker for kickoffs and for extra points, Don Pratt, for whatever reason, not the field goal kicker. So we have Stephen Rutherford in a 3rd and 8, running backs in the backfield, fullback, and then what looks like Mason Dixon at the top of the eye. Rutherford keeps it. Nobody's out there. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Rutherford, but there's a flag on the play.
That's
right around the 10.
I mean, the statisticians and the guys up here in the booth who, in the press box, they're all upset. But you know what? I mean, it's holding on that side. It has to be. I mean, complain all you want, but, you hold a guy for 5, 6, 7, 8.
It's a man open, but is not able to make the connection. Ethan Shearer, the tight end, trying to get open, not able to rein that pass in, and now it's 4th and 5.
Good pressure by Micah Poopy again, and forced Rutherford to throw that ball a little bit early, so it looks like, I don't know, they may stay on the field. Or no, what are they going to do here?
Rutherford is the holder.
You're back out to now a 3-score lead. Beaver would have to score 3 times to tie or go ahead, and now you get the ball right away in the second half.
Yes.
So if Beaver can't stop them in the second half, this game likely is over, despite how good Amari Jackson has kept them in the game. That is a big score.
Setting up a 16-point lead, too,
yes,
puts Beaver in a position to where if you want to keep pace, you may be trying to go for 2. In order to try to get those 16 points back in 2 possessions. But that isn't all that easy to do, considering they can't do much against Central Valley tonight.
And when I said 3-score lead, I mean if they're kicking. Right. It's really 2 if they get 2 points, but it's 3 if you don't make a 2-pointer.
Yes. So Don Pratt, 53 yards, plus is the average for him for kickoffs. He's kicking from his 40-yard line. The question is, does he want to kick deep? He does not, and he kicks it to one of the up men around the 22-yard line. He gets it, bounces out to the right side, trying to make somebody miss. Does for a couple more yards, out close to the 35, 37-yard line. So now with 8 seconds left, 7 seconds, the Bobcats get it, and you got to wonder, do they try something? Or YouTube is on the far side of the field, and they have 2 defensive backs on that side, plus one guy really deep. They decided to run a sweep with Amari Jackson out to the left side. He makes the man miss, sprints past another, gets out to midfield with the clock expiring. We are now at 0s, and it is halftime, and we are officially at the Al's Pizza halftime show. It's now time to see if we can check in with Derek Rossiter and see if he's able to get a quick little interview here with Coach Lyons about his assessment of his team being up 30-14 at the half. Against a Beaver squad that is pretty stellar in their own right and considered to be one of the top teams in all of 3A football. Derek Rossiter now with Coach Lyons. Derek?
Hey, guys. Here Coach Lyons. Coach, they've made some adjustments in the second quarter, getting Jackson the ball a little bit more. How does your defense adjust for them in the second half?
I mean, let's face it, he's our best player. I mean, I think we got to be a little bit smarter to recognize that.
What's your message to your team going into halftime? Keep the momentum going.
We just got to finish plays. I mean, we've had some costly penalties. We had a touchdown call back, but we just got to finish plays. We got to tackle better. I mean, just some fundamental things.
Great. Good. The second half, Coach. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
There you go, guys.
Eric Rossiter with the interview with Coach Lyons. Interesting. His team looks so good this first half. He's up by 16 points. And as a typical great coach does, he's looking at what he can go in there and tell his kids what they can do better.
You can't be satisfied. If you start being satisfied and you think you're satisfied, then all of a sudden the team lets up. You can't let up. You cannot let up in football because you've seen it 1,000 times. One play can turn a game around. And Amari Jackson and Quaylen Kane on their own have turned this around and put Beaver back in this game. So if you let up and you come in here thinking, well, we got this game won, you're sorely mistaken. So, yeah, things turned around in the second half. Good question by Derek. Very good question.
Yes, thank you very much, Derek. All right, coming up, we will be talking about this game more. We'll also look at scores from around the Beaver Valley and get some insights and analysis on that as well when we check the Fry Transportation Update Desk. It all comes up next on the Al's Pizza Halftime Show on Beaver County Radio.
You're listening to 2024 high school football coverage on Beaver County Radio from the McGee Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by EXP out the day while their customer service representatives take professionalism to the next level. Call them today at 724-495-6199 with any questions you may have.
Zookie's Sports Tavern on Constitution Boulevard has the best wings and homemade sauces in Beaver County. Zookie's Sports Tavern is the perfect place to grab a bite to eat or a cold beverage before high school basketball games. Zookie's Sports Tavern has a heated and enclosed outside bar equipped with several big screen TVs and is the ideal place to watch all of your favorite sports. Don't forget to become a VIP for discounts and special offers at Zookies.com. That's Zookie's Sports Tavern on Constitution Boulevard.
Looking for a fall activity for your children? Pass and score your way into the Beaver County YMCA's Youth Soccer League. The league will teach the basic fundamentals of soccer. There will be one practice a week teaching drills and skills. This soccer league is for kids ages 5 through 12 and runs from September 10th to October 19th. Registration is already open. To register, go to beavercountyymca.org.
Falling in love is one thing. Having anxiety about falling is a whole different subject. If you or a family member are concerned about falling, and yes, either up or down the stairs, or maybe even out of bed, St. Barnabas has a special message and some ideas just for you. Years of experience in working with people who are prone to falls has given St. Barnabas special expertise in this. 443-0700 and learn about ways that
of Hallowed Grounds Heavenly Roasted Coffee. Brew up a win when you shop small and support a local business. Help Hallowed Grounds celebrate the home team spirit and get into the zone by clicking on hallowedgrounds.com. Or score big when you stop in person at Hallowed Grounds Coffee Roastery in New Brighton. Brew, sip, and celebrate.
The Boyers over the Bobcats. This is the Al's Pizza Halftime Show. And when you look at these two teams coming into this, we were expecting a high-powered game. I don't know that I was expecting Central Valley to be as strong as they were and not having Beaver be able to match them blow for blow.
Well, I told our own Tank Latham, who I'm hoping is listening, who's on vacation, that Central Valley was a team to really watch out for. Ignore the 0-3. And he didn't seem to think I was right. Beaver looked good last week, but Central Valley's a different team than Hopewell. They're in a different place. And Central Valley learned a lot from those 3 games. And one thing we're learning is the offensive line, the defensive line of Central Valley, dominant. They're easily able to sustain drives. Their play calling's been tremendous. Their skill players have done their job. And Beaver, despite having some really good skill players and some very good play with Kalen Kane and Amari Jackson, losing Brady Mayo has taken a weapon away from them, and that hurts them.
Yeah, Big Mayo is not only important as a wide receiver to protect passes, but he's also a key player in the offense when it comes to running as well, being able to give opportunities for Quaylen Kane and Hall just to be able to bring another weapon to the mix. And having him out has really been impactful.
And not only on pass plays down the middle, that way you draw a guy to you in the middle of the field where Jackson's more stretches the field. Mayo also is great as a guy that can use end arounds, and they haven't done that yet tonight. Only the one time with Mayo, and he got hurt. So when you take a key player out on both sides of the game, even at 3A, you're losing somebody. And when you're playing a team like Central Valley, who has a lot of weapons and is a strong team, your chances of winning go down. And that it seemed to deflate the team a little bit, and Central Valley did what they wanted to, but then they came back. Central Valley, a couple of big plays by 2 of the better players on the field. And probably the best player on the field is Amari Jackson. And he's got them within 3 scores. That's why that field goal is so big at the end, because now Beaver can't afford to trade points. They're going to need a turnover. They're going to need some big plays on their own, because if Central Valley can sustain drives and eat clock, Beaver's not going to have enough time. They only had the ball 5 times in the first half, and they're going to need the ball at least 3 times.
I think when it comes to skill player, and you line them up on both sides, they're really evenly matched. What the difference is in tonight's game has been what's been happening on the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
The offensive line for Central Valley has been dominant and controlling, and when they go out on defense, they're
down. Beaver hasn't gotten that. And when you get behind the 8 ball early against a team like Central Valley, but one thing good for Beaver is that they were able to turn things around down, 21-0. They turned it around and have made it a game. A lot of teams would have withered away by now.
Good point.
So give Beaver credit for coming back. The key is, what are they going to be able to do on defense against Central Valley in the second half?
Everybody knows that Central Valley is going to run when you have Jance Henry and Mason Dixon and what they're able to accomplish. And they pass just enough. The people like Cole Hiltz and BJ Nastic, these guys, also Ethan Shear, they throw the ball just enough to keep defenses honest.
Exactly. Not only that, but they do a lot of fakes with Rutherford at the line, where it looks like a running back's going to go right, and he rolls out left and has a lot of room. Without those holding calls, they probably have 35 points by now, at least, because they got called twice for holding on the same play.
You made a great observation during the second quarter where the way that Lyons is calling this game, where you look for one thing and then you end up getting another, and they really build you into this. You're convinced it's going to go up the middle. Rutherford decides to keep it, and then there are times where you think they're going to do something else, and then they run it up the middle or break it out to the outside. It leaves us.
He doesn't just throw the ball when he doesn't need to. He mixes it up enough to keep you honest and keep you guessing. He's got us guessing as well.
If you're Coach Rouse, what do you say to your guys in the locker room here?
I tell them, boy, you guys have got to be better pursuit on tackles. And I just think that with a 4-man front, they're getting beat up 4 against 5. I consider putting another man up front on defense, because Central Valley is running right at them and taking advantage of them. I got to tell my linebackers, you've got to pursue better. I've got to tell my defensive backs, you've got to pursue better. Henry is getting around the end, as is Dixon, and you guys got to tackle better. It's plain and simple, Robert. When you break this game down, if you can tackle better and block better, Central Valley's been the better team at that.
Well, here's what's difficult. If you're Beaver and you decide that you want to go with an extra down lineman, then who do you take out of the game? Do you take out Amari Jackson at safety? You take out Junior Marino at free safety? You have to have the corners.
Well,
you have to have, and then at linebacker, You have Poopy, Lutton, and Hall. I mean, it's difficult to make a decision like that.
They've only thrown the ball a couple of times, and Jackson's more than capable of covering one-on-one against somebody. I mean, I'd take that chance. If you can't stop their running game, they're going to eat the clock up. They're going to kill you on the clock. And they've completed that one long pass. Rutherford's missed a handful as well, but I got to change something because Beaver, Central Valley's offense.
And get an interview with him, with Coach Rouse of the Beaver Bobcats. It's all coming up on Beaver County Radio.
Do you want a chance to win $1,000? Head over to the Rochester Hotel and watch your favorite NFL team every Sunday. Ask the bartender for a ticket to enter your name for a chance to win the $1,000 cash prize for free. Everyone is eligible to enter one entry every Sunday throughout the entire NFL season. Enjoy this football season with specials on all your favorite game day foods and drinks at the Rochester Hotel. The winner of the $1,000 cash prize will be chosen on Super Bowl Sunday. So head out to the Rochester Hotel every Sunday this NFL season for your chance to win $1,000.
The sound of classic golden oldies and classic cars just naturally go together. Gary Snare and his professional team at Gnu's Body Works in Freedom is ready to help you relive those golden days of memories of yesterday in style. They specialize in restoration and customization of all makes and models to make your dream rider everything from lowering or airbagging.
For sports, don't forget to become a VIP for discounts and special offers at Zookies.com. That's Zookies Sports Tavern on Constitution Boulevard.
Looking for a fall activity for your children? Pass and score your way into the Beaver County YMCA's Youth Soccer League. The league will teach the basic fundamentals of soccer. There will be one practice a week teaching drills and skills. This soccer league is for kids ages 5 through 12 and runs from September 10th to October 19th. Registration is already open. To register, go to beavercountyymca.org.
Safe, including suggestions that you can implement right now into your daily routine. Call St. Barnabas at 724-443-0700. For many years now, St. Barnabas has been helping people fall in love, that is, with their new, better life, a longer life, a risk-free life. Call St. Barnabas now at 724-443-0700 or visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com and learn more about living longer and better.
The Al's Pizza halftime show continues from the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth. And the Central Valley band still out on the field. And I don't know about you, Mike, I get a kick out of football players that like being in the band too. I don't know when they have time to practice for football and then do band practice. But number 62, if you're watching on the stream on Facebook or YouTube, Joshua Donnell, he is a sophomore, 5'8", offensive lineman.
In band class, that's a class, so you have it. And so you learn the music, but then you've got to have some good section mates and know the formations. And I would imagine they practice on the same field here, so maybe they practice right after school and the football team practices later. I don't know.
As I'm watching, I'm finding another one, Benjamin Sawinski. He's a junior, plays wide receiver and defensive back. His number is 86. I don't know if I can. I can't play it.
And Gino, I can't just pick up a microphone.
Something to look forward to. Maybe the first week of the WPIAL playoffs. You got time to then get yourself a good trombone and.
One of our teams makes the state playoffs. Maybe I'll.
Oh, so you want to bump it back to states now?
Yeah, I need more time to practice.
Okay. All right. Let's look at scores from around the valley when it comes to the Fried Transportation Update Desk. What are we looking at?
Really, really good games out there. 7. So now it's Quaker Valley 21-6. We know the score here. Shenango up on Southside 21-20. Western Beaver all over Union 21-6. Peters Township 24. The Shenango kids are tough. It took them a few weeks to get over the things that happened there, the tragic incident that happened there. So now they've had a chance to play harder, to get better, to do a lot of different things as we've got a lot of fun coming out as the teams are coming back out on the field. So not a big surprise, but I'm a little bit surprised that Southside's given up 3 touchdowns in the first half.
All right, we will check in with Derek Rossiter and the EXP sideline report in a moment. He is waiting for Coach Rouse to come out of the locker room, interested in finding out what he had to say to his young men as they are trailing by 16 points here at halftime. They were able to bounce back and get two really nice scores by Amari Jackson, the Villanova commit. Going Wildcat is what really made the difference, taking out their quarterback, Travis Clear, who's been remarkable this season, completing over 64% of his passes, throwing 5 touchdowns. But tonight, it's just a different game plan because the defense has been so good for Central Valley and just it's able to get through the offensive line and create a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and you can't protect the quarterback at your feet, and you're constantly throwing off your back foot, and you just can't protect him. And I'm just glad that they made a change because a lot years ago, coaches wouldn't do that.
Just a bit of a hybrid position, strong safety, outside linebacker. They have been really good at chasing down and creating pressure in the backfield, and only the decision being made by Ryan Mayo and Court Rouse to move Amari Jackson from wide receiver to the Wildcat has been able to make it possible for them to put up 14 points.
I noticed as we're waiting for Derek, I noticed Travis Clear comes on the sidelines without a helmet. He comes through. So did he get replaced because he was hurt, or did they do that because?
Okay, let's go down to Derek right now. Derek is live with the coach.
Again, the winning numbers are
there. Can you guys hear me up there?
Yes.
Coach, what was the message to your team going into the locker room here?
I just got to keep our head up. Just say, some things happened in the first half. We just got to make sure that we just keep our head up and just keep grinding it out, and just good things will happen.
Great. What's the update on Brady Mayo?
Right now, he's being evaluated. That's all I can say right now.
Great. Thanks, Coach. Have a good second half.
Thank you very much, Derek. I do appreciate that. For those who are wondering about the Brady Mayo inquiry, Brady Mayo hurt his hand early in the first quarter. Caught a pass, was tackled, and then was holding his hand as he was going to the sideline. And we have not heard from Brady Mayo since that time.
Yeah, I mean,
and so he continues to be evaluated, and we're just hoping for the best for him at this point.
They're not going to tell you things about him that they don't know, obviously. They probably know, but they're not going to. You want to tell, make sure his family knows and all those things. If he's going out in pain with his hand, and I saw him in his walking to the sidelines, and it looked like he had all his gear on, but he did have no helmet at all. So either he left his helmet on the sideline or he left it in the locker room. It's one of two things right there. So
Central Valley wrapping up the second quarter, getting that field goal. That field goal attempt that was up and good by Don Pratt. Tremendous leg on this kid. 53 yards, kick on kickoffs. We've not been seeing him do that tonight because he's avoiding kicking deep to Amari Jackson and Quaylen Kane, and instead they're just kicking ground balls one of the up guys in order to keep it from the big playmakers. But that field goal attempt that he had at 37 yards that he made, he could have made that from considerably further than that.
And that's something to remember not only for today but for the future for this Central Valley team as they progress and get toward the playoffs. That's a weapon, even though you might have to kick in bad weather later on down the line. But the big thing is the Beaver is going to have to stop them every single possession Central Valley has scored.
Including this one coming out of the gate because they scored the last 3 points.
Yeah.
Beaver only had it for a few seconds before halftime, and now they get the kickoff to start the second half.
If they go down and score now you're down 4 scores with quarter and some to go. And depending on how long Central Valley takes, if they do score, it's a must stop for them. And they're going to need a good defensive stance. They're going to need to keep continuing on offense. And they're obviously can get back in this ball game. They're a very well-coached team. They're a senior-laden. They can't let them score here. They just can't.
Deep, Jance Henry and Aaron Lawson for Central Valley. If you're listening to the radio, it is going from right to left with the kickoff. And the referee just called the play into action, and the kick taken at the 50-yard line, kicked it right to the defender. Quinn Connolly receiving it at the 50. What do you think about that call?
You know what? I mean, that tells me one of two things. Either you're not 100% confident your defense is going to be able to stop Central Valley all half, and you want to take a chance and try to get right back in this ball game and surprise them, But you needed a bounce. They didn't get it. Now what you've done is given Central Valley at least another 20, 25 yards they wouldn't have had.
50-yard line. Rutherford under center. Hands it off. Henry backpedals. Travels over to the right side. Holding penalty. Or flags on the play, rather. Let me put it that way. At around midfield and in the backfield about 3 yards back. And now the referee giving a holding call against the Warriors.
Too many penalties for Central Valley when they're up 3 scores.
If you're looking at now a 1st and 20 for Central Valley. So a great field position to start the game, the second half at their own at the 50-yard line. And now you're backing yourself up. What Central Valley has been able to show themselves to do is that when they were down earlier, there was a 38, and they were able to convert on that. So a 1st and 20 isn't too much for Central Valley to overcome.
It's not a big deal for them, no.
Okay.
Not at all.
Central Valley, 3 wide receivers wide, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Rutherford takes it, hands it off to Mason Dixon up the middle, 45, 50, 49-yard line into Beaver territory. So what went from a 1st and 20 turns into a 2nd and 9.
Got it all back, pretty much. I mean, when your offensive line opens up holes like that, and you've got 2 really good runners, this is what happens. So they're doing exactly what they did in the first half, ball control. Up 3 scores, I don't see them putting the ball in the air that much.
No real need to. Right. Rutherford, shotgun formation. He went out of the game in the second quarter with an ankle. They taped him up, and he came back in the very next series and looking great at this point. Takes the ball, hands it off. Mason Dixon up the middle, picking up about 4 yards, close to the 45-yard line of the Beaver Bobcats.
That's what they did last year. Dixon a series, Henry a series, Henry 2 series, Dixon a series. They mix it up. You don't tire one guy out. You've got 2 talented guys, you use them.
Third down.
You're eating clock, too.
3rd down, 5 yards to go. They have shown themselves willing to go for it on 4th down. You would think if you pick up a couple here that they are in that territory once again. Rutherford, handoff. Mason Dixon, no need for a 4th down play. 30-25 down inside the 20-yard line. Still fighting tacklers all the way down to the 18. Mason Dixon dominant over that right side.
I mean, too many talented runners behind a talented offensive line. They easily pick up the 1st down and more. And Beaver has not been able to stop them all night long, and it continues here. And it looks like we're going to have an official's timeout.
Yeah, Jarius Baker, the right tackle, 6'3", 293 junior, just looks as though he's cramping up a bit. And they'll get him some water and some salts and hopefully be right back in this game.
Pickle juice.
They take a pickle juice, a little bit of mustard. It all works. 30-14, 10:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. More coming up on Beaver County Radio.
There will be a free block party tomorrow from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Gazebo in Ambridge between 11th and Merchant Streets in the P.J. Call Memorial Park. There will be food vendors, a petting zoo, face painting, and music. This event also has free additional parking at the Municipal Building. For more information, visit beavercountygop.com. Join the outreach of the Republican Committee of Beaver County tomorrow in Ambridge from 4 till 7 p.m. for the block party. Sponsored by the outreach of the Republican Committee of Beaver County.
Jarius Baker, after a stretch, is up and on the sideline. He is replaced for one play. This play, Carson Stewart, the senior, is in for him. They run Mason Dixon right behind him, and they're able to get some nice yardage on that play, too. It doesn't make a difference who they run behind.
Exactly, and for Central Valley now, their main goal, I'm assuming, is take time off the clock. Score, take time off the clock, hold Beaver, do it again. If we get up by 35, then we run the rest of the clock out. Don't get anybody injured. I would assume if things continue the way they go, maybe in the 4th quarter you'll start seeing some of their backups. But right now they're just totally dominant on offense against Beaver.
Rutherford under center, man in motion. Hand off to Dixon over that left side. Penetration by the Bobcats by
Dixon on the carry.
The linebacker coming in and just cutting him off at the ankles. And you look at the defense, everybody's within about 7 yards.
Mm-hmm.
The corners on the outside are by themselves, and everybody else is up in tight.
That's one thing we thought they might do, but it so far has not been able to help. Now the big question, and we can talk about this more after the game, is the top 5 teams were in any order. It doesn't matter. Central Valley, Avonworth, Beaver, Greensburg-Salem, and Amani Christian. What's this going to do to that after this game?
Rutherford shotgun, takes a snap, hands it off to Mason Dixon. No, decides to keep it himself, breaks a tackle down inside close to the 5-yard line. Nice gain, almost 8-9 yards on that play. He leaves it in Mason Dixon's arm so long. He's running that option, that read option.
That's huge. You can't, if you go to one guy on defense, and then your quarterback is reading what the linebackers are doing, and if he sees them kind of thinking it's going to be the running back, he takes it. Keying on him, he hands it off. 3
running backs, T formation, bobbled snap on the ground, and Rutherford was able to fall right back down on it. So far, the only things that have happened against Central Valley, for the most part, have been things that have been self-inflicted.
One bad snap that cost them, 30 yards in the first half?
Right.
And then this one right here. That's it. And again, some penalties.
Yes.
A few penalties.
But it's a whole lot more about what they've done to themselves than it has been about the Bobcats, except for the remarkable Amari Jackson.
Right.
Handoff inside the 5-yard line, down close to the 3.
Dixon on the carry.
Mason Dixon coming off from what looked to be more like a wing position on that one.
Well, I'll tell you what, by the time they run another play, if they score, you're talking about they've taken 5 minutes off the clock. Even more importantly, again, Beaver only had that ball 5 times in the first half. Well, actually 4.
They're lining up tight. Everybody's in tight. 3 running backs across the top behind Rutherford. Hand off to Jance Henry over the left side. Touchdown, Warriors. There was nobody that was going to stop him. Brendan Alexander, Tyler Andrusik, and Mike Bendakovic just opening up that left side, and an easy touchdown for Jance Henry.
What do they say all the time? You build from the line out. And they've always done that at Central Valley. The successful teams have. The old Monaca teams won. Yeah, you have to have guys like Jance Henry to run. But if you don't have those offensive linemen, if you don't have that push, there's no way Central Valley's this good. I mean, those guys would get you some yards, but you have to have that to win.
Don Pratt up and good on the extra point. And he is now 14 of 16 on the season. 37-14, the Warriors on top of the Bobcats. 7:04 to go in the third quarter. More coming up on Beaver County Radio.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
Central Valley up by 23, 37-14. Don Pratt getting ready to kick off once again. Amari Jackson and Quaylen Kane, they are set deep around the 10-yard line. But so far tonight, Pratt's done nothing but hit grounders to go to one of the up men. We'll see what he does on this kick.
Makes no sense to kick it to Jackson.
He does kick it deep this time, all the way back to Quaylen Kane. He gets it at the 10, crosses over the middle field, out over the 20, 25, and close to the 30-yard line, and finally brought down. Nice return by Quaylen Kane and a beautiful kick by Don Pratt.
I guess the thinking behind that is you have a 23-point lead. They happen to run one back, but you got to get your team used to covering kicks. It's still midway through the season, and why not? Although I'd be real careful about being burned by the talented players. Let's see who's in at quarterback for them.
Amari Jackson is in the Wildcat. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. He now follows his lead blocker, looking for some room, finds the outside, makes a man miss it. Now it's a sprint race, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 10-5, and finally dragged down inside the 5. I didn't think anybody was going to get him.
I mean, this kid is more special every single week. I mean, he's been a guy I've seen on the basketball team the last 3 years. We saw him blossom a little bit last year at football, but, man, he has really taken a step up. I mean, this kid is definitely playing somewhere at the next level, and he has gotten them back in this game another time. And with the clock still running, he's going to get the ball again, I'll bet.
5 seconds on the play clock. Takes it, whistles, and a flag. Movement against the Bobcats. So instead of a first and goal inside the 3, now they're backing up to the 8-yard line.
I mean, let's describe that play. He goes through the right side of the line, gets through its open spot, gets into the linebacker area, beats a guy, then he kind of hops over a guy trying to tackle his legs underneath him and rushes down and almost, if he's not dragged from behind, almost scores a touchdown.
He's in the Wildcat, takes it, keeps it himself, looks for some holes over that right side, gets back close to the 4. This is the Amari Jackson show here with the Beaver Bobcats.
And you know what he did there? He just went right over the right tackle, and then he used his legs to push a couple yards forward more than he would have got. So not only is he's a little small and wiry, but, boy, he's strong too.
Observation that you made at halftime about Travis Clear, number 3, just spotted him over on the sideline, and unlike every other player that has their helmet on, he doesn't have his helmet on. Snap, run over that right side. Some are saying he got a touchdown, but the officials are saying no, he's short, maybe about a foot or so.
That's going to bring up 3rd down.
3rd and goal for the Bobcats. Jackson, Wildcat, takes it, keeps it, plunges forward, and touchdown Bobcats. The Amari Jackson show continues. 3 touchdowns now, all of the scores
I don't think there's
for
any
the Bobcats.
question about who the CCBC player is for them right now.
I'm not quite sure yet.
You don't think so?
I'm just saying I'm not sure. I'm not making any firm commitments to anything at this point. I think that we are not inside
who's in the lead?
I'm just saying I don't think we're inside the official voting window.
Well, I'm just going to go say he's in the lead. That's all. We won't say he's official.
Early polling shows that Robert Mangino is one of the top broadcasters on this game tonight. One of the top 2 in this game tonight. Top 3.
Top 3. We got 3 guys here.
Yeah, because Derek's down there. He's killing it down there on the sideline.
Not just a college broadcaster, ladies and gentlemen. A high school broadcaster as well. Well, now Beaver, amazing.
He is going for his 21st consecutive extra point attempt, and he made it. 37-21, the Warriors over the Bobcats, 5:05 to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll come back with more in a moment on Beaver County Radio.
I've heard people refer to older veteran athletes as being all washed up. Well, quite frankly, that's a rather nice compliment if you ask me. This is the Aquaman of Beaver County, Jim Riggio from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. When you hear something like that, you have to consider the source of the water, that is. After all, getting washed up with Beaver Falls Municipal Authority water can't be a bad thing. That's because for over 80 years, we've made it possible for everyone to feel washed up, even if they are not star athletes. Click bfwater.net.
Kickoff is coming in a moment. First, eXp Realty Sideline Report. Derek Rossiter with us on the sideline. A lot of timeouts, official timeouts, and players not necessarily being injured, but just cramping up on them.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely been noticing a lot of players stretching on the sidelines. When I was on the Beaver sideline later in the first half, saw a lot of players rolling, using the rollers on their calves and stretching out on the sideline. So that's going to be a big factor here going in the rest of the second half.
Tchaikovsky in the kick, run up the middle past the 20, 25, 30, and then driven back hard by the Beaver coverage team. And so now Central Valley has it. And the question becomes, can they answer? Because right now, the Bobcats have to feel good that they know how to score. And it's give Amari Jackson the football. And Central Valley knows that, and they can't stop it. And so now there's a little bit of pressure for Central Valley, isn't there? A little bit, but I mean, to go score for yourself here.
Beaver has not stopped them yet, so a long, sustained drive will take them into the fourth quarter, and if they score here, it's probably lights out for Beaver.
Rutherford, pistol, hands it off over that right side, picking up a few yards out to about the 33-yard line. Jance Henry with the call.
Fry Transportation Instant Update Desk. Amber's still 13-6 over Greensburg-Salem. Laurel now up 23-12 over Rochester. Avonworth 42, Hopewell 13. Cornell 22, Bishop Canevin 15. Great game there. Osh up 21-7 over Ligonier Valley. They were down 7-0. Riverside now up 20-6 over the New Brighton Lions, and we'll get to the rest of it after this next play.
All right, Rutherford shotgun formation, running back on his left hip. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Play action, looking, scrambling, can't find anybody, and finally throws it out of bounds. The Beaver bench is wanting a intentional grounding call, and right now the officials are talking about whether or not they're going to call it, and preliminarily it's just an incomplete pass.
Quaylen Kane came up limp by the Central Valley sidelines. He stood up. He walked 10 yards. He's back down. He's got a cramp as well.
And that's good news because you don't want to see them get hurt. But it's interesting that we're this late after into the season, and we're still dealing with cramping issues. And it's not like it's a real hot night either.
And it got a little warm today, and that's what happens. Quickly, let's go through the Fry Transportation Instant Update Desk all over again. So, as they switch things around on the site, Penn Hill's still up over Aliquippa 7-0. Ambridge still 13-6 over Greensburg-Salem. Laurel 23-12 at Rochester. Avonworth now 42-19 over Hopewell. Elwood City in the Norrisy Rule 43-3 over Freedom. Cornell at home over Bishop Canevin, a top single A team, 22-14. Our Lady of Sacred Heart now 21-7 over Ligonier Valley. Riverside at New Brighton 20-6. That is a big game for Riverside, and a big game. The winner of that has a shot at the playoffs.
Trying to get it to Connolly right around the 45-yard line. So that sets up a 4th and 8 now. And we're going to see what we've not seen so far. A punt by Central Valley.
And not only that, now this makes things interesting now, because ever since midway through the second quarter, this has pretty much been an even ball game score-wise. And this is the first time now they've stopped them. So, boy, Beaver's still in this ballgame.
Antonio Perry back for the punt. Is able to get it away, end over end, bounces around the 49, takes a Central Valley bounce, and it looks as though it went out between the 35 and the 40. Referees are walking it off. 35-yard line. So now the Bobcats have it 1st and 10 from the 35.
Derek reports to us that Jance Henry's on the sideline stretching for cramping as well. So it's not just the number one guy for Beaver, but it's also for, and that's maybe why we've seen Dixon so much. So one of the weapons for Central Valley, now 2 weapons for Beaver on the sideline, but they still have Amari Jackson. And boy, he reminds me of Steve Breston, just the way he plays and the way he's run and the way he gets through people. Interesting man to watch.
He's in the Wildcat once again. 2 running backs to his right. Option pitch. Able to make a man miss and get back out to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 2 on that play.
Well, you got to figure Central Valley's keying on him, and there's no doubt about it. So Kurt Rouse and his staff have to figure, look, we have got to mix it up a little bit because they're going to key on him so much. But even though you key on the man, he's good enough that he's able to beat 11 guys on his own at times. Gets a few blocks, but boy, looking forward to seeing him run again.
Yeah, it seems like all 11 guys for Central Valley, they're watching their guy, and they're dealing with their issue, but they have to keep Amari Jackson in their field of view. And he takes it over the right side with a Wildcat and picks up a couple of yards. Maybe the shortest gain so far outside of the short yardage situations inside the red zone, where Amari having a short gain.
I'm a little surprised there because you got the short field to the right, and you want to give him as much running room as you can. So 3rd and 6.
Amari Jackson set up in the Wildcat. He has 2 running backs to his left side, 1 right next to him, 1 up closer to the line of scrimmage, 2 wide receivers to that wide side that Mike just talked about. He's back, going to pass, throws one deep, and a pass interference is called. The question becomes, who's it against?
Might be offensive. I'm telling you. I think he tried to run through the defensive back. We'll see.
No indication by how the teams are moving. Looks as though Central Valley is drifting toward where the flag was thrown. No.
Nah, they're not.
Here,
they are.
just,
I'll be darned. It is
marching
against
off.
Central Valley. I'll be darned. Boy,
Offensive pass
what,
interference.
That's another big play. Boy, Mark Lyons was right. We got to stop hurting ourselves. I'm looking at him on the sidelines. He doesn't look too happy.
Amari Jackson, same formation as last play. He's in the shotgun. Decides to hand it off over that right side, and that was Dre Hall. Nice pickup. About 7 yards on that play. We think about Quaylen Kane all the time, and he went down with those cramps. In fact, his cramping was so bad they were stretching out both legs at the same time. But Dre Hall, he's averaging 7.2 every time he touches the football. He's had a 100-yard game himself so far this season.
First down play by Hall again. Awful quiet on this side now for Central Valley. And how about this is one of the first games I've been to in a long time where the opposite sideline is packed as well. Now, these 2 school districts neighboring each other pretty much, and no big surprise that it's a big crowd here tonight.
Yeah, they have a huge attendance on the home side. It's practically standing room only, and it's about 90% attendance over on the away side. Once again, Amari Jackson gets it from that shotgun position, picks up 5 yards on that play. So it's setting up a 2nd and 5. In fact, it looks as though there are even seats in the end zone. That normally they go just to the band, but it looks as though
some people are there.
It may be people over there.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Sitting around the band,
around the fencing.
Handoff this time to Quaylen Kane. He's back in, picking up a couple of yards. It's a big game when you have people who are standing along the fence line outside. They want to see this matchup.
No doubt.
So 3rd and 3.
I got to figure 4 down territory for Beaver here. They cannot get away from here without. We're almost at the end of the 3rd quarter. They've got to keep moving.
51 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Amari Jackson keeps it, looking for some room, stretches out close to the 25. He had to get to the 25. The officials are saying he's short, makes it just inside the 26th. 4th and a very short one, and you got to believe they're going for it.
Yeah, they're going to go for it here, and they'll get a playoff before the end of the 3rd quarter. I wouldn't be surprised to see him keep the ball again, or they got a tight package here. We'll see what they do.
Everybody's in tight. They snapped it all the way back to him in the shotgun formation, and they picked up the 2 yards, 3 yards that they needed to get that first down. They had 3 guys, for those of you who are listening, they had 3 guys right behind the center of the guard and the tackle, basically, and they snapped it all the way back to Amari Jackson in the shotgun formation, and he was able to find the open spot and get his first down, and a player is down for Central Valley. As they tend to him, we'll time out with them. 30 seconds back. 37-21. The Warriors on top of the Bobcats on Beaver County Radio.
Are we not hearing commercials anymore?
Amari Jackson on the keeper and picks up a couple of yards, setting up a 2nd and 7 at the 20-yard line for Central Valley. That is the end of the third quarter.
I got a couple interesting scores for you. You ready? You're sitting down.
I'm ready.
Penn Hills with a 50-yard touchdown pass play. Touchdown leads Aliquippa 14-0 with 6 minutes left in the third, but they get the ball right back. And you have a 56-yard touchdown run, 21-0 over Aliquippa with 4 minutes to go to the third. Blackhawk now up 44-6. They are in Mercy Rule against York.
Wow.
That.
I'm still wowing the Aliquippa score.
Well, Penn Hills has some athletes. They were 1-3. Something tells me they looked ahead to Aliquippa, and they wanted to prove a point against them. But, the Quips have played well against everybody, but tonight can't get the offense going.
That is what happens when you're the big dog. Everybody comes hunting after you.
And my question is Tyke Hayes playing again this week? He did play last week.
Right.
Because of coach's decision. So, Hayes not playing again tonight. I was just told that. So that's 2 weeks in a row. Now, why is that? We don't have any confirmation of injury. I don't know.
But their backup running back, the one that's spelling him, he's a West Virginia commit. It isn't as though, granted, whenever you have Tyke out, it's a step backwards.
There's no doubt about that.
But you're still talking about somebody who's D1 level at West Virginia.
He's D1 top 25 level guy.
No, I mean the guy who's filling in for Tyke.
Still, but not,
Yeah, 2nd and 7, ball at the 20-yard line. Amari Jackson in the shotgun, we'll call it. 2 running backs to his left, 2 wide receivers to his right. Hands it off to Drehall and is able to get over to the right side. Not able to get much on that one. Maybe a gain of 1 or 2 and no more.
Well, with Clear not able to pass to Jackson, it's got to be Jackson doing it all himself. But he has not only carried a few times in the last 4 or 5 offensive plays. And now 3rd down and 5. I would think you've got to get the ball into Amari Jackson's hands. Well, he's going to have it no matter what, but will he hand it off? Will he pass it? Will they give it to Quaylen Kane again on one of the plays like they did in the first half?
Oh, what a hit.
Goodness.
Amari Jackson takes a snap, tosses it out to Quaylen Kane, and as soon as he caught it, he was hit at the knees.
Central Valley saw it. I saw it. You saw it. Everybody saw it. Kane was in motion toward the left sideline, and as soon as he did, I saw the linebacker come up, and they just caught that and knew, and now they're going to try a field goal. Wow.
4th and 9. And Amari's throwing it. Up in the air, incomplete pass, no flags. No flags. Turnover on downs for the Bobcats.
Yeah, you know what? A field goal would be nice, but then you're still going to be 13 down. You're still going to be 2 touchdowns down. You take a chance there. I mean, you have to take chances to win because you're still going to have to stop Central Valley multiple times or get turnovers. And you can't win unless you score or they make mistakes. So you're this close to the goal line. You're 22 yards out. Why not go for it on 4th down? Right. I mean, a lot of people might not have done that this early in the game. Well, still. But the way Central Valley controls the ball, they get 3 or 4 first downs. They're going to eat up most of the rest of the clock. To me, you take that chance there. I know a lot of Beaver fans would say, well, why would you do that now? We got a guy that can kick. You know what? You play to win the game. And they tried the onside kick, and I applaud Court Rouse's team for not only showing up here tonight, but for playing pretty well from the second quarter on. Because really, a lot of teams would have folded with that Central Valley onslaught, Robert, in that first quarter. They would have folded, and it would have been down. But this Beaver team hung in there, and they're still in the game.
So we have Central Valley now taking it over. Turnover on downs. 1st and 10 from their own 22. And Rutherford now just doing what he can and running these plays that Coach Lyon sends in to drain out the clock. Handoff on a sweep, breaks some tackles, finally goes down. Pickup of about 13 yards on that play.
2 big things happen there. 3 big things. Number 1, perfect sweep. Number 2, perfect hole. Number 3, perfect blocking. And number 4, not enough pursuit by the Beavers defenders to get there and close that hole up and tackle him. That was an easy first down. It was a very, very well-run play.
1st and 10 at the 34. Running clock, 10:22. Central Valley taking their time. Play clock now coming down to about 10 seconds. Rutherford, pistol formation. Takes a snap, hands it off over that left side, breaks a tackle. Mason Dixon has plenty of room to go. It's about anybody stopping him. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Mason Dixon.
66 yards.
Mason Dixon just putting the dagger in the heart of the Bobcats. And once again, that was a run over that left side right off of Brandon Alexander, showing why D1 schools all over are looking at him and want him to play for them. 6'4", 288, along with Tyler Undrusik, a 3-year starter, just making the way for running backs like Jance Henry and, in this case, Mason Dixon.
Huge hole. He gets through it one-on-one into the secondary. You can't stop a guy like that.
They're now set up for the extra point. The kick, bobbled snap, 2-point conversion instead. What a great awareness by the special teams unit that there was a missed snap, and then all of a sudden the end runs a little bit of an out pattern into the end zone, and Rutherford, who is the holder, is able to hit him right out there in the flat. He was able to throw it to Adam Schroeds, 6'3", 178, wide receiver. He's a junior. They got that 2-point conversion.
24 points now makes it a three possession, 3 touchdown, 3-score game now.
Yeah.
Without that, still 3 scores, but you could win with a 3rd score instead of now tying it.
And that decision by Coach Rouse, more understood because he was confident that Central Valley is going to put up points. They only stopped them one time, only forced one punt.
And you got to figure, even if you don't stop them, they eat up some clock and get a first down or 2, and you may only get the ball back 2 more times. And if you get back twice, you can come back and win, but you have to score there. You score there, you hold them, you score there, you hold them, then you got a chance to score and win the game. But if you don't score there, you don't win the game unless they turn the ball over and start handing it to you, and they haven't done that all night. A couple of bad snaps and some penalties, that's it for Central Valley.
45 points that the Bobcats have given up. The highest point total so far this season. They gave up 42 in their loss against Imani Christian.
And Imani is a really talented athletic team.
And the kick, it is high and it is deep. And Amari Jackson lets it bounce inside the end zone. Wow.
That's
what a
interesting.
kickoff by Don Pratt. Went 60 yards. To think of the sophomore is able to have a leg like that.
You know, here's Jackson, the best player in the game. Other guys are talented. Dixon's talented, there's no doubt. So are some of the other kids on Central Valley. But Amari Jackson, I think, the most talented player on the field. He had a chance with the ball in his hand, and that's what Beaver needs, touchdowns. And I think that's a situation where you got to figure from there he's got a pretty good chance to get it to the 20-yard line. Maybe he breaks something and he gets a touchdown run, but they choose to let it bounce.
Amari Jackson, shotgun from his own 15, balls on the 20, hands it off up the middle. Quaylen Kane has it. 2-man to beat, breaks a tackle, and finally brought down at the 45-yard line. Quaylen Kane running with authority on that one.
He's fun to watch, too. He's ascended from a freshman coming in on occasion to a guy playing 60% of the time last year to a full-time starter this year. Goes out for this play.
And now with the snap, Amari Jackson decides to keep it, breaks it up the middle. He's on a sprint race now. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Amari Jackson faked the pitch out to the left side, sprinted over the right side, found some room between Damian Ludden and Jonathan Pashuta, and no one was going to catch him. His 4th touchdown on the night.
So we get some indication, we're not positive, but clear out with possible finger injury and Mayo out with a possible elbow and hand injury.
And now we have a stoppage and play, timeout for Beaver. They time out, we'll time out with them. Back in 30 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
Beaver County Radio and the Pennsylvania Hot Rod Company, along with AK Nahas, are teaming up to present Cruisin' on the Ridge. Saturday, September 21st will be the final car cruise of the year, so make plans to come out and send summer out with a bang. If you have collected all of the dash plaques, you will be entered into a special drawing to win a special prize. Cruisin' on the Ridge will be from 12 to 4 p.m. at Beaver County Radio Studios at 4301 Dutch Ridge Road in Brighton Township. Beaver County Radio's Solid Gold Saturday host J.D. Merkel will be spinning tunes in the parking lot. There will also be food trucks, prize giveaways, raffles, and a 50-50. Cruisin' on the Ridge is being brought to you in part by Falcone's Moon Township Ford, eXp Realty, the Beaver County Transit Authority, Shop and Save Beer and Wine, the Rochester True Value Hardware Store, Friendly Federal Credit Union, AK Nahas Furniture and Appliance, the Pennsylvania Hot Rod Company, and Beaver County Radio.
I mean,
all right, so with confirmation about Brady Mayo and his injury, just a huge loss, not only on offense at wide receiver, catching the ball, running the ball, also in defense. 2023 first team all-conference, led the team in tackles from the cornerback position. This man was willing to fly all over the field. You don't have him. And Travis Clear, who's been really, really good this year, 47 to 73, completing 64% of his passes, averaging about 163 a game and 5 touchdowns. And now Amari Jackson throws it, and it completed for the 2-point conversion. So they went for it, and they got it, and now it's 45-29. Beaver will not give up.
Yeah, and you know what? I like the fact that they have fight. And you know something? I mean, they may not win this game, but they're going to beat most teams. And it looks like the teams that are lose to so far, by your scorecard, Imani Christian,
right?
Westinghouse, or did they beat Westinghouse?
They beat Westinghouse.
Beat Westinghouse. They lost Omani.
Right, and they beat Blackhawk 56-28.
They're losing here. Who are some of the top teams in 3A? Amani, Central Valley, themselves, Avonworth, and Greensburg-Salem. They probably won't play Greensburg-Salem unless it's in the playoffs. They won't. They've already played Amani. They've already played Central Valley. Now they're going to have to play Avonworth. They could possibly be second or third best team of 3A. And these two teams could possibly meet again if things go the way I think they're going to go now. It's going to be Central Valley and probably Amani on one side of the bracket, Central Valley and Beaver on another. I could see these two teams meeting up in the semis or the finals. I wouldn't be surprised.
Ty Konski with the kick, and it is a shallow one. It hits around the 27-yard line and picked up around the 19 by one of the upmen, and then brought down right around the 22. So Central Valley now gets it. 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. What's going to be difficult for the Bobcats moving forward is that if they lose Brady Mayo for any length of time, he's somebody that they've not shown that immediately they have a replacement for.
Right.
And then you look at Travis Clear at quarterback, the junior. It isn't as though he's the only quarterback on the squad, and Amari Jackson has been fantastic in that Wildcat spot, but they need to get him back and get him healthy too. Handoff. Nope. Quarterback keeper over that left side. Plenty of room. 40, 45, 50-yard line. Stephen Rutherford. They sell that RPO, that run option, and everybody buys in and everybody crashes down from that side. And in this particular case, it was from the offensive left side, and nobody was out there. Rutherford didn't run into anybody until he was a good 15, 20, 25 yards down the field.
This is what they do. I mean, they've wore this defense down. And a lot of these kids playing on both sides of the ball. I mean, it's one thing if you've got two sets of linemen and you can have an offensive and a defensive line, but your best are playing out there. And right now, Central Valley's best are just a little bit better than Beaver's best on the line.
Rutherford, pistol, hands it off. This time, Mason Dixon gets it and picks up about 1. Maybe the shortest carry he's had on the night.
It's still some time. Got to stop him. That first down run was not good for Beaver. But now this first down run was, but Central Valley's smart, Robert. You see, they're going to take the clock all the way down, the 45-second clock all the way down to under 3 seconds. They're taking their time. They're just eating clock. Every set of downs is going to be a couple of minutes. They get a couple more first downs, Beaver's got no shot. Beaver stops them, they got a shot. But I would think where they're at now, Central Valley's, they're in 4-down territory.
And Mark Lyons said 2 keys to victory: get more snaps, convert third downs. They've done both of those tonight. Rutherford gets it, hands it off. Mason Dixon up the middle, breaking a couple of tackles, gets close to that first down yardage around the 40-yard line, and sets up what looks to be a 3rd and about 1, maybe 1.
Too many big plays against this Beaver defense.
Ball on the 40-yard line.
It's remarkable how many people wrote off Central Valley starting off 0-3. And there were a number of them that just didn't think that they had it because they lost these games to schools like Montour, Thomas Jefferson, and Bell Vernon.
3 really good teams.
Yes.
Really good teams.
Toss out to the left side. Mason Dixon has it. He's sprinting up the middle. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Mason Dixon. Toss it outside on that left side. Bounce it back up the middle. And he was gone. Didn't get touched until he was around the 2.
Can't stop him. You have that kind of, you try to stop a guy from getting a yard or 2 and you break through with a big hole like that. You just cannot. How about what I've been wanting to mention to you is, how about the cheerleaders sprint from one end zone to the other every time they score a touchdown? You notice that?
I have not noticed that.
They sprint.
To go and grab the flags and then run them all back again.
That's what they do. They're trying to keep up with the boys, man. There's no doubt.
Now, see, I would think if a cheerleading coach was making them run like that, they got in trouble for something. Because when I was young and some adult made me run, it was because I was in trouble. I didn't run just for the sake of running.
Let's go to the Fry Transportation Instant Update Test. Penn Hills 21-0 over Aliquippa. Riverside now 20-13 over New Brighton. They have scored after New Brighton. Ambridge now another score, 27-10 over Greensburg Salem. We have Southside 34, Chenango 21. Cornell still 22-15 over Bishop Canevin. Osh now 21-7 over Ligonier Valley. Moon 28-0 over Seneca Valley. Peters Township 31, West Allegheny 0. Western Beaver 33-6 over Union. Quaker Valley still 21-6 over Valley. Our first final of the evening, Elwood City 43-3 over Freedom. Avonworth is also a final, 50-19 over Hopewell. And finally, Peters Township 38, West Allegheny 0. So 3 finals in. Oh, Laurel now final over Rochester 23-12. Rochester, I believe, now 0-4. That's the first time that I can remember they're 0-4 or 0-5, one of the 2.
Yes.
To look at that.
And I'm not sure whether it's 4 or 5, but 2-point conversion attempt.
Ambrose's pass falls incomplete.
And it went no good. Ambrose on the pass. And so now they're going to be set to kick off here, and the Bobcats getting it back, trailing 51-29. And we are still north of 7 minutes to go in the third quarter.
You know, I mean, when you have an offense as good as Central Valley, when you see what they did last week against McGuffey, when you see that they have so much talent on the line, and you mentioned, you just pointed it out, a lot of people writing them off because they're 0-3, but you just don't understand who they played. And you've got to understand in high school football, non-section games don't mean a lot unless it's seeding. Now, Central Valley now, they could lose and not lose another game the rest of the year, but they may not be seeded number 1. They may be the best team, but likely to be 2 or 3 now, depending on what they do against Avonworth, depending on what Amani Christian does. Mm-hmm. But likely could be the best team in 3A. But when you're playing 4 and 5A schools the first 3 weeks of the season, that's why you're 0-3. It doesn't mean you're not good. And a lot of people need to look a little deeper into it. Same thing with this Beaver win over Hopewell last week. Beaver's good, but are they in the class of Central Valley right now? Maybe if they don't make the mistakes they did in the first half, they could have hung with them.
The kick is deep, and it is away, and it is another touchback for Don Pratt. Back-to-back kickoffs, touchbacks, clearing 60 yards for the sophomore.
It is amazing how things turn around in football where you don't think that a New Brighton is going to be very competitive. They've had a lot of rough years. New coach, young kids, all of a sudden they're winning. Riverside's turned it around. Whereas a team like Rochester, who has been a playoff team for so many years, and now they're down.
Yeah, we're going to see New Brighton when they take on Beaver Falls in Week 7, and that'll happen in Beaver Falls. And I'm looking forward to seeing what New Brighton has done. And a big run by Quaylen Kane. He's off to the races, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Quaylen Kane over that right side, and he was gone. Nobody touched him.
8 yards. Every time you think Beaver's completely done, they're not. Here I am saying we're going to have a defensive battle in the first pregame, and I was so far from it. Rochester now 0-4, Laurel 1-4. So,
Quaylen Kane, I think he heard you. Somebody must have a radio down on the sideline, maybe some kind of streaming device.
Yeah, saying about
you were ready to give the CCBC player of the game immediately.
Jackson has 4.
To Amari Jackson, and he says he wanted to let you know, hey, pay attention, buddy.
2, 3, 4, 2, 1. Am I right?
4-1.
4-2, because Kane has a touchdown reception.
Okay.
And a touchdown run, so 4-2. And Jackson has the touchdown throw. So he has 5
Amari
minutes.
Jackson just converted on a 2-point attempt.
So 5 touchdowns when you count the throw from Jackson and the 4 rushes,
Jackson
right?
on the keeper.
And Kane with
Get in for the 2-point
2. That's all I'm saying, Robert.
Is that all you're saying?
All I'm saying is.
That's all you're saying.
37.
I call him as I see him.
I understand that. 51-37, 6:51 to go in the third quarter. The Warriors up by 14 over the Bobcats, who will not go away no matter how hard and how desperately the Warriors wish they would. We'll come back with the kickoff coming up on Beaver County Radio.
After any big game, people will be talking. This is Ellen Bross from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. The same is true when you get your new vehicle from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Neighbors, friends, and co-workers will notice the new winning style reflected in the car, truck, or SUV you just got from Falcone's Moon Township Ford, located on University Boulevard across from Robert Morris. Click and save at moonford.com and discover what the talk is all about. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
One of the things that Coach Lyons said he was concerned about when it comes to his defense facing the Bobcats is that they're fast, and he was concerned about his defensive players being able to maintain their assignments and not get beat.
Yeah.
And although they've done really well for the most part, those splash plays that you hear so much about, it's been really the Beaver Bobcat offense.
No doubt. I think I could be wrong, but I'm looking at an onside kick here. Looks like the hands team on the right side of the line.
Yes, and Ty Koski is set up right around the 38. He is not nearly in what would normally be typical kickoff position. And all of the guys behind him are as close to the hash mark as they can be.
He needs a bounce. He needs a high bounce.
And here it comes. Has to get to the 50. Squibs it up in the air and caught at around the 44-yard line, but not before he was leveled. My goodness. Cole Hiltz, star wide receiver on the hands team, got it and then was immediately drilled.
There's a few ways to do it. If you kick it too hard, then you did get that bounce there, but you kick it too hard, your guys can't catch up to it.
Right.
Or you line drive kick it and hope it hits one of their up men and becomes free, but then you got to be dead on accurate to a guy that's 10 yards away, and you got to kick it right off him, or it goes past the secondary guy. Tough to do. Onside kicks are not a high percentage play.
Rutherford.
Beaver timeout.
And a timeout by Beaver. So we'll take a timeout with them. Back in 30 on Beaver County Radio.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win or at least a winning smile by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
On the third. Central Valley and Beaver, they haven't played in a while, but they are 1-1 at this point, and this has the rubber match to gain the lead in this ongoing series between these two schools. They are not disappointing. I mean, it's a tremendously high-scoring game, 51-37. Wasn't expecting this at all. And we're only in the third quarter.
Years ago, Beaver and Center would have played against each other, but then Central Valley moves in with Monaca, and then they don't play for a lot of years.
Rutherford takes it, hands it off. Jance Henry gets it and gets back to the line of scrimmage. And no more than that, Micah Poopy coming up. He's third on the team in tackles and showed why with that stop right there of Jance Henry.
A couple of bad snaps for Central Valley, and that's it. They have not turned the ball over. Imagine if they've turned the ball over a couple of times, how this game could be different. You see Beaver trying to strip the ball now.
Doing all that they can to get the possession back and turn things around. But considering where we are in this game, man, we're only talking about being down 14 points.
I know. A turnover could be a big, big difference. So what you have to do, and they're run right up the middle, what you have to do there, Robert, is you got to punch at it. You know, you can't just grab at it. You got to punch at it. You're a strong kid, a guy like Jance Henry or a guy like Mason Dixon holds that ball tight to their chest with two hands. You see him running like that now. It's hard to get it out of a guy's hand, but it's been known to happen.
5:36 to go.
Third down. Interesting. Will they try to throw the ball? I'd be shocked if they throw the ball here because an incompletion stops the clock, Robert. You don't want to do that if you're Central Valley.
Third down and 8. Rutherford, shotgun, and it looks as though they're calling a timeout.
Yep.
Timeout, Central Valley.
Yeah, you know, it's a situation where they're going to talk it over. They're going to say, hey, look, do you want to take a chance and throw here? If you do and there's an interception, Beaver's right back in business. My way of thinking is there's 6 minutes on the clock. You're your own worst enemy if you try to do things. You're already winning the game. Don't let them back into the game. Run the ball. If you've been running the ball and getting 7, 8, 9 yards a clip. If you run the ball and you get a first down, great, you're in business. If you don't, now you're on fourth down and maybe it's fourth and short and you go for it again. Or if you punt from here, you're going to make Beaver go a long, long way. Yeah, Amari Jackson and Quayon Kane can score from that long, but you're going to have to force them to go long, long way in a short period of time. I hold on to the ball, I run, I don't throw, I don't put that ball in the air, and I don't stop the clock. That's the key, in my opinion. And we'll see what Mark Lyons is thinking like I am with a lead.
5:19 left. Third down. 8 yards to go. Central Valley up by 14, 51-37. Rutherford back to pass, looking down his left-hand side, finds a man open, and just beyond the outstretched arms of his receiver over in the left side, Cole Hiltz, just not able to bring that in. 4th and 8, setting up a punt, only the second punt for Central Valley tonight.
I'm surprised by that. I really am surprised by that, Robert, because it does two things. Number one, it stops the clock. So you just gave Beaver 30 seconds. Beaver's going to get the ball back. Yeah, if they make the catch, you look brilliant, but it was not a good throw. And he's only made a couple of good throws all night long, so I'm a little surprised by that call, unless they're faking here.
Set up for a punt. Back deep. To receive the punt is Jackson. He will let it bounce at the 27. Takes a Beaver bounce to the 31-yard line, maybe the 32. So 1st and 10 now for the Bobcats. 5:03 to go, and you're down 2 scores.
We've seen epic performances by Jackson and now Kane. Do they have more in them? Can they get to within 7? And then do they onside kick again? Do they have enough time to score and get the ball back? And if they do get the ball back, we've not seen Central Valley turn the ball over yet. And there's an official's timeout here.
Yeah, Mason Dixon helmet off, and he was just down to one knee. And then the training staff came out to take a look at him.
I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of his parents.
Are you?
They named him Mason. His last name's Dixon. I mean, think about it.
That's pretty good.
I give him credit. I really do. Think about it. I mean,
No, I hear you.
I know a guy.
You know a guy?
I know a guy who named his son Cosmo. After Cosmo Kramer, I named his son Cosmo.
Was he drinking?
No.
No, he did it legitimately.
He's a good man. He's a legitimate good man. He's
All
a good
right,
person.
just checking.
But, think about it. How many kids have their kids? That's a neat, very distinguishable name.
Very distinguishable.
Very distinguishable. Not like Mangino.
I don't know that.
Not Mangino. Everybody knows a Mangino.
Everybody, yeah. I don't know. That's different. That is different. You better have a personality if you're going to be named Cosmo.
No, if you're going to be Mason Dixon too. I mean,
that's right. You better be an outstanding football player. You better be a tough guy because they're bringing it. Amari Jackson takes it. And loss of yardage on that play.
Yeah.
Central Valley was able to swarm him there.
They didn't
loss
fall
of
for
about
that one.
3.
They did not fall for that one. They easily stopped him there.
Keeper. Met in the backfield by number 50.
Coming up after the game, we'll have the Electric Garage Doors post-game show. We'll get the latest from the Fry Transportation Sports Update Desk. Also, get the CCBC players of the game and get you ready for the Falcones Moon Township Ford wrap-up show. Pass out to the right side, and it looks as though penalties are coming on that pass play.
Now, that could be one of a couple of things. That's either going to be, I don't know whether that was late hit, or is that going to be interference on Central Valley, or is that pushing interference, offensive interference? There's a lot of different things that could be, because we will find out. But Central Valley is moving backwards.
Yeah, Central Valley head coach going to the young man playing corner there for Central Valley that drew that 15-yard penalty.
So we haven't, we'll be throwing things down to Derek soon enough, but Derek's got no help on the sideline. He's got to get players of the game and coach of the game.
He's working tonight.
Old stat boy back here, no help.
And he just looked back at us like, what? Amari Jackson over the left side. He finds a crease and gets that over the midfield mark and over to the 40-yard line. Big pickup of about 16 on that play for a first down.
Never say never with Amari Jackson out there. Boy, I'm going to tell you. I mean, he is a special player, and he becomes more special in a senior season that is really, really, really becoming special. Tremendous. I mean, do they want to stay with this? Even if Clear is healthy in a week or two, do they want to stay with something like this? It's very possible. They may have found a better offense.
Jackson gets it. Fakes the toss out to the right side. Decides to keep it himself. Runs up close to the 30-yard line. Pickup of 8 on that play. Amari Jackson doing it all. And when he fakes it, you have to go along with it, because you're tossing it out to guys like Drake Hall or Quaylen Kane that are capable of big play performance.
And if he's coming at you, you don't know if he's going to go right or left. And if he fakes, he's so quick he gets by you.
He gets it, tosses it out to Hall. Hall looking for some room. Dragged down from behind by the jersey, but he's not going down. Trying to find some space, spinning, turning, and then leveled. Dropped back at the 38-yard line. He ran a lot and was ultimately able to get nowhere. Big loss on that play.
He'd have been. I know what he was trying to do. He'd have been better off going out of bounds. Now the clock's going to keep going.
Yeah, with under 3:20 to go, you want to do what you can to make it. You want to make a play.
I get that.
And you love a guy who wants to make a play. But he'll get coached about running out of bounds next time.
I agree. I think he goes out of bounds and stops the clock. Now, an injury is going to stop the clock, but he goes out of bounds. You save yourself about 15 seconds. It would have been, they'd have lost a lot more if there's no injury there. So they get a little bit lucky that Central Valley has an injury and they have to stop the clock. But, I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to make a play. Obviously, you don't want to blame the kid there because he's trying to make something happen. But they need time right now. And how much time do they have left? They have 3:19 left.
That's it.
And, they're marching toward a touchdown. CV's tired too. And Jackson's just always one play away, or as is Kane, from breaking a big play. And if they score, he's still got the onside kick. It hasn't been successful twice, but
we're in a timeout, everybody's wondering What's the latest on the Aliquippa score?
Well,
Penn Hills, Aliquippa, last time you gave the score,
last time our trust,
Aliquippa was
I
down
think he's
big.
hearing. Our guy is listening to us, and he's going to give me an update. It was 21-7. Aliquippa scored to make it 21-7 with 11 minutes to go in the fourth, and I'm waiting for an update right now.
Game clock is approaching 3 minutes. Amari looking for somewhere to go, throws it deep down the right side, up and incomplete. Just not able to make a connection with his wide receiver.
That's going to bring up 4th down.
Micah Poopy not able to get it, and now you're looking at a 4th and 8 here, and it's all come down to this play.
And he's not a passing quarterback, obviously. They bottled him. It's still 21-7. Penn Hills over Aliquippa in the fourth.
So it's 4th and 8.
You got to get the first down before the long. They were trying a long play, just, hey, let's try it. But they don't have much time left on this clock. They better hurry up.
How about this one? Quaylen Kane, is 5 seconds to go on the play clock. 4, 3. Pass out to the left side, and nobody was home.
That was a different quarterback. Jackson ran a go route. And Durga, is it Durga?
And that's going to be a turnover on down.
Number 16.
Michael Durda, the freshman quarterback. They put him in to try to get Jackson the ball on the left flat. Jackson ran a go right. He threw a sideline route, turnover on downs.
And now 2:54 to go. And now Central Valley up by 14 points. It's just about running the clock out.
Well, I'm showing on the Beaver County Times site that Aliquippa's down a touchdown, 21-14.
Handoff. Jance Henry has it. Was going to go right, bounce it back left, nowhere to go, pickup of about 2 yards. The most important part of that play was that when he went to the outside and couldn't find any room, decided to just go ahead inbounds. Yes, let that clock roll. Timeout by Beaver.
Let's go for some more finals.
Let's do it. CCBC. Fried Transportation.
Instant update desk. Well, Aliquippa indeed has scored. It's 21-14 now in the fourth. Southside up 34-21 over Shenango. Moon 28-0 over Seneca Valley. Ambridge final 27-10 over Greensburg-Salem. Elwood City final 43-3 over Freedom. Avonworth final 50-19 over Hopewell. Riverside final 20-13 over New Brighton in a very well played game. Next score would be Ligonier Valley has lost to Olsh. Olsh is now up wins 28-7. Quaker Valley beats Valley 34-14. Laurel beats Rochester 23-12. Peters Township beats West Allegheny 38-0. Western Beaver beats Union 33-6. And Bishop Canavan comes back down 22-15. They score the last 14 points and win 29-12. Cornell's hearts are broken and their unbeaten streak is over.
Handoff. Nope. Rutherford decides to keep it, bounces it outside, first down yardage all the way to midfield. And here comes 2 penalty flags.
Yeah.
And now it's about waiting for the call. One from the side judge and one from the back judge on the far side of the field. That back judge had to have thrown that flag a good 15, 20 yards.
You got to wonder if it's the same call they've been 2 other times before. Is it holding again?
On the Warriors.
I mean, it's happened once. Okay, shame on me. Okay, it happens.
It's one of those
twice.
ones to where wide receivers out there, they're just not used to being able to block somebody for that long. And they're out there on an island, and I think what they get in trouble with is that once the Rutherford makes that break and the guy goes to them, next thing you know, they're still trying to maintain that block.
And Rutherford should be sliding there instead of taking on tacklers.
2nd and 13. Handoff over that right side. Pickup of a few back to the original line of scrimmage.
I mean, Beaver has no timeouts left, I don't believe.
No.
And, you hand the ball off even one more time in punt, they're going to have a minute and 20 seconds maybe to score 2 touchdowns. You just hand the ball off one more time. If you get it, fine. If you don't, you still have a timeout left.
Right.
And then punt the ball. But I still wouldn't stop the clock. I wouldn't call a timeout, stop the clock. But why stop the clock? The clock is Beaver's enemy. Just let things run, punt the ball, and our defense is good enough to stop you.
5 seconds on the play clock. 4, 3, 2, snap, handoff up the middle. Jans has it. He's gone.
Nope.
Oh, somebody tripped him up at the 40 and still was able to sprint down to the 21-yard line. It looked as though he was absolutely taking off, and then somebody was able to catch him.
Now you sell out and
behind.
try to stop them, and now you take 3 kneels and the game is over. They can't stop the clock. Should be 3 kneel on ball here. You're going to win by 14. A game you had in control in the first half. And I tell you right now, since the middle of that second quarter, they outscored Beaver. Beaver outscored them. It was 21-0, and it's been 37-30 since the middle of the second quarter. Beaver. It's 21-0.
Right.
Middle of the second quarter. They've outscored them 37-30.
Well, so oftentimes you go into halftime and you tell your kids to get them to stay in the game. It's 0-0. Come out and play like it's nothing.
At the half, it was 21. It was 30-14. But, Beaver hung in there. I mean, give them credit. Again,
yes.
I'm not going to say they outplayed Central Valley because they didn't. They got outgained by a lot. But they beat them on the scoreboard from the second quarter on. They had a disastrous first quarter and a half. That cost them the game. And, of course, the line play hurt them as well.
Another knee, and that will do it. 51-37 is your final. And it's Warriors over the Bobcats. The Electric Garage Doors postgame show from the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth has now started, and we will get interviews from the field with the head coach of the Warriors, Coach Lyons. We also have to decide who's going to be the CCBC players of the game. And we have Amari Jackson, clearly the front runner for the Bobcats, and also Quaylen Kane getting an honorable mention at least at this point. And then maybe the bigger struggle is going to be, who do you decide that you give the player of the game to for Central Valley?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, you got Stephen Rutherford, who's absolutely managed a wonderful game tonight, coming back off of injury. Hurt his ankle early in the first half. Jance Henry has been fantastic tonight, too. Big game, scores. Mason Dixon, he's had 2 big scores tonight, too.
Derek voted for Dixon. I'm thinking here. Let me see. Wow. Dixon had a 66, a 40, a 6. And Henry had a 13, a big run at the end of the game. And he also had a 3-yard. I got to agree with Derek. I like Mason Dixon. My votes are for Mason Dixon and Amari Jackson. What are you thinking?
For me, it's Amari Jackson. There's absolutely no doubt about Amari Jackson. He has been stellar for the Bobcats. And Jance Henry did a lot in the first half when it mattered the most. Mason Dixon really took care of things in the second. I will go ahead. My vote would be Jance Henry, but I will be outvoted 2-1, and Mason Dixon it is for the CCBC player of the game. And we're now waiting for Derek to be able to get the interviews. We will be talking with Coach Lyons, and then we'll be also talking with Mason Dixon and with Amari Jackson.
We hope so. We only have one man down there.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. Let's pause for 30 seconds. We'll come back in a moment on Beaver County Radio.
Tri-State Sporting Arms on Main Street in New Brighton is now open. Stop in and explore their extensive selection of high-quality firearms, pistols, and accessories. Tri-State Sporting Arms also pays top dollar for used firearms. Their experienced and highly trained staff is here to assist you in selecting the right firearm for you. Stop on down to Beaver County's newest firearm store, Tri-State Sporting Arms, at 807 3rd Avenue, New Brighton, or check them out on Facebook.
Looking for that special home or wanting to sell yours? Let the Lisa Latham team, brokered by eXp Realty, help you. Hi, I'm Tank Latham, and our goal is to make you feel comfortable whether buying or selling. Lisa and I strive to make the process as smooth and as easy as possible. We invite you to visit the all-new eXp office located at 926 3rd Avenue, New Brighton. Give us a call at 724-307-5472. Check out Beaver County home inventory on our website, lisalatham.com. The Lisa Latham team, results that move you.
Did you know that if you have the ability to listen to the radio, you have the ability to dig a ditch? It's true. By renting the right equipment from D&G Rentals in Beaver Falls, you can turn big projects into simple ones. So if you can master your cell phone, you can probably build a new patio or pour a new sidewalk. You already have the know-how, you just don't have the right tools. And that's where D&G Rentals comes in. Visit dgrent.com. So remember, if you can change the channel, you can probably change a transmission with a little help from D&G Rentals.
Your Beaver County McDonald's restaurants are proud to partner with Beaver County Radio in sponsoring all the local high school football games this season. Stop into any of your local McDonald's restaurants for everyday value items like 2 for $3 mix and match, sausage burrito, sausage McMuffin, and hash browns. Don't forget to download the app for extra special savings. Looking for a great part-time job? Visit mchire.com today to apply. Good luck to all the Beaver County football teams this season from your local McDonald's restaurants. I'm loving it. Your dream of a college degree a reality at Community College of Beaver County. CCBC offers 10 pathways to success, including health sciences, criminal justice, industrial technology, business, and more. Start at CCBC and finish your career or get transfer ready, all at a realistic cost. Enroll today. ccbc.edu. Get ready to kick off your game day with everything you'll need for tailgate parties from Fisher's Foodland in New Brighton. Party trays, snacks, beverages. If you're looking for food ideas to make your tailgate party unforgettable, Fisher's has it all. Fisher's Foodland is a complete independently owned and operated grocery store focused on your daily needs for the whole family. Remember, football season is a great reason to visit Fisher's Foodland in New Brighton.
When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it's hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season from your friends at Fry Transportation.
Hey guys. You guys got me.
Central Valley victorious tonight against Beaver. It's now time for the CCBC players of the game. And the CCBC player of the game for the Bobcats, scoring 4 touchdowns. Number 2, Amari Jackson, and he is down on the field with Derek. Derek?
Hey guys, how you doing? Mari, great game today. Very tough to overcome with the injuries on your side. You guys able to overcome some of those injuries of your team and stay focused in the second half?
We set in our mind, just pretend it's next man up. That's how we play, next man up, and next person has to just step up and play their hearts out, and that's what happened.
Good. As a leader on this team, how were you able to motivate some of your teams, some of your players, going into next week's game? How are you guys going to make some changes with some of the adversity you've had from today and bounce back next week in practice?
To keep everybody's spirits up, may go down, but it's next man up. We just got to keep putting our foot on the pedal and, just keep going forward. It's just still the same thing. Next man up, we're just going to rep it more and more so the backups get more comfortable in the plane.
Good. Mari, great job today. Our thoughts with your other players on your team. Hope everybody's well and everybody bounces back. We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much. Do appreciate it, Derek. eXp Realty sideline report. Amari Jackson, 4 touchdowns. Injury to Travis Clear, knocking him out of the game. And then Amari went into Wildcat and then put on a one-man wrecking crew. He was the entire Beaver Bobcats offense.
He was tremendous. You're right, Robert. He was even more special than he was last week. We know what a great runner he is. We know what a great receiver he is, defensive back. But he put on a show today. I'll tell you what a young man. And he kept Beaver in the game. Him and Quayle and Kane kept them in the game. And you hope for the health of Brady Mayo and Travis Clear, and you just hope that those two can come back for this squad soon as we wait for Coach Lyons.
Great commentary on the attitude that these young guys have.
Oh, yeah.
Because the first half, it was all about the Warriors. And Coach Rouse was able to get them into halftime, get them refocused, get them to not give up. Like Jackson said, is that next man up mentality and just able to perform. Let's go back down onto the field to Derek and the eXp Realty Sideline Report. Derek with Coach Lyons.
All right, guys, thank you. I'm here with Coach Lyons. Great win on the game, Coach. Man, I tell you, I told the guys at the beginning of the game how much energy I felt from you coming out of the locker room and to start the game. How were you guys able to keep your team focused and keep that energy throughout the whole game?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about emotions. Play with emotions, but don't let emotions get the best of you. You know, keep it in check. And I thought we did that throughout the game. I mean, it was just a matter of guys, you know, willing themselves to make the next play and pick themselves off the deck, you know, the whole 9 yards. But, you know, our guys gutted it out. I'm so proud of a lot of our guys. I mean, you know, a lot of teams would have kind of folded their tents when Jackson keeps ripping off 50, 60 yarders. But we kept answering. So, you know, again, appreciate our guys, man. I love what they did tonight. I love how they approach things. And we're going to keep moving forward from here.
Yeah, you mentioned trying to contain Jackson there. Your defense did a really strong job. I saw a lot of focus, a lot of communication. How were you guys also able to kind of overcome a lot of cramping on the field today? You know, how are you trying to keep your players hydrated and the staff on your sidelines doing a good job with that?
Yeah, our training staff's, you know, trying to keep everybody hydrated and get them right. But there's sometimes, you know, I don't think was the key. We monitor their weight throughout the week and, you know, talk to them and preach to them, but played a lot of snaps. I don't know what the total snaps both teams ran. There was a lot, you know, there was a lot of football snaps here, so that was tough. That was grueling.
Yeah, absolutely. I wrote down notes toward the fourth quarter here that this was a battle of the ground game today between your side with Dixon and Henry and obviously Mari Jackson. You know, great performance on both sides of the field. What's the one big takeaway from your offense and how they were able to run the field today?
Again, I thought our offensive line just kept grinding it out. You know, they got down and dirty at times. I know they were fatigued at times, but they just kept putting their hand down in the dirt and getting off the ball. And yeah, I told them all week, man, this is going to be one of those games where it may get a little grimy in there at times. A little bit of old-fashioned football, and we were able to do that.
Yeah. Congratulations, Coach, on a great game. Thank you. Back to you up there.
Thank you very much, Derek Rossiter down there with the eXp Realty Sideline Report and Coach Lyons of the winning Central Valley Warriors. As we get ready to wrap things up here at Central Valley and turn things over to the Falcones Moon Township Ford wrap-up show, we got the CCBC players of the game in. Mason Dixon on the Central Valley Warriors side, not able to get the interview with him. What's happening at the Fry Transportation Update Desk? Latest scores.
In the fourth quarter, late fourth quarter, Penn Hills 21, Aliquippa 13. That game not over. Southside, late fourth quarter, well, it was 34-21 over Shenango. Moon, late fourth quarter, 28-0 over Seneca Valley. Ambridge, final over Greensburg-Salem, 27-10. We have this final, obviously, Central Valley 51, Beaver 37, Blackhawk 57, Yawk 6, final. Elwood City final 43-3 over Freedom. Avonworth final 50-19 over Hopewell. Riverside, a pretty good ball game, goes to New Brighton and wins 20-13. Panthers are back. Lions are back. Our Lady of Sacred Heart wins 28-7 at home versus Ligonier Valley. Quaker Valley gets their first win of the season, 34-14 over Valley. Laurel goes to Rochester after trailing, I think, 12-7, comes back and scores the last 16 points of the game. They win by a score of 23-12. Peters Township wins 38-0 at West Allegheny. Western Beaver goes up to Union and wins 33-6. And Bishop Canterbury comes from behind at Cornell, down 14 and wins 29-22.
All right, final thoughts from Central Valley with their big victory over Beaver coming up in a moment as we wrap up the Electric Garage Doors postgame show in minutes on Beaver County Radio.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers at Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca. Dial 724-774-3200 and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors, LiftMaster garage door openers, and over 50 years experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Electric Garage Door Sales. Give them a call at 724-774-3200 or find them online at electricgaragedoorsales.com.
Hey, this is Olivia, Al's daughter. Al's Pizza next to Fisher's Beverage in New Brighton is open. Yes, the owner of the food truck whose pizza you enjoy has a storefront in New Brighton next to Fisher's Beverage. Al's Pizza is open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Al's Pizza also has hoagies, calzones, pepperoni rolls, and gluten-free options. If you like pickles, you will love their pickle pizza. Yes, I said pickle pizza. So stop out and see Al next to Fisher's Beverage in New Brighton for pizza this football season.
Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, but the game of life is a lot easier to play when you're insured with the best. More than 117 years has proven the Henderson Agency in Aliquippa knows what it takes to provide their customers with the best insurance for their needs. Auto, home, motorcycle, boat, or business. They pride themselves on good, old-fashioned friendly service and represent several insurance companies, including Progressive, National General, an Allstate company, and Mutual Benefit. The Henderson Agency, Aliquippa.
Falling in love is one thing. Having anxiety about falling is a whole different subject. If you or a family member are concerned about falling, and yes, either up or down the stairs, or maybe even out of bed, St. Barnabas has a special message and some ideas just for you. Years of experience in working with people who are prone to falls has given St. Barnabas special expertise in this area. Call them at 724-443-0700 and learn about ways that you can begin to feel more confident and safe, including suggestions that you can implement right now into your daily routine. Call St. Barnabas at 724-443-0700. For many years now, St. Barnabas has been helping people fall, in love that is, with their new, better life, a longer life, a risk-free life. Call St. Barnabas now at 724-443-0700 or visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com and learn more about living longer and better.
The Electric Garage Doors post-game show continues. I'm Mangino, Mike Azadian with me. And Mike, final thoughts on tonight's game?
Two really good teams, two of the top five teams in 3A, and I would not be surprised, as I said this in the fourth quarter, if these two teams would meet again. Looks like those two, Amani Christian with Greensburg-Salem losing tonight to Ambridge. I would say these two teams, Amani and Avonworth, would be your top four in some order, but Central Valley's for real. We talked about it last week. Now they played a really good team. They lost to three really good teams early in the year. Central Valley very well may be one of the best teams in 3A. But when you can control the ball from the line of scrimmage and not turn the ball over and run the ball down another team right at them like they did, you're not going to lose many ball games.
Tremendous character on the part of Beaver, considering they lost two key players. Their starting quarterback and Travis Clear out with a hand injury, so he was out for part of the game. And Brady Mayo out almost 3/4 of the game, if not more, with an injury himself. And the big question is going to be for them moving forward.
Who replaces him if he's out for a while?
Right, and how quickly can you get them back? I mean, because they have a tremendous amount of talent.
Yeah.
Amari Jackson is that one-man show, but can you get through the regular season and really have much of a playoff run if you can get through it and into it if you don't have guys like Clear and
Exactly, because teams are going to start really, really keying on Amari and Kane. And if nobody else steps up to replace those guys, and that's a shame for them. Again, what did we say? They outscored Central Valley from mid-second quarter on. They were down 21-0 and outscored them, 37-30 the rest of the way. So they stayed with them. If not for mistakes, and that you take away that fumble on their opening series for the touchdown, a play here or there, they might win this ball game, but you're not going to win if your defense can't stop the other team, and they couldn't stop them. They didn't stop them until the late third quarter. We didn't see a punt.
Maybe the news that will rattle all of Beaver County coming out of Penn Hills tonight.
Yeah, Aliquippa goes there and loses. Obviously Tyke Hayes didn't play again. They said he was hurt last week. Obviously, it's a non-section game, so they're going to hold him out. Penn Hills has a lot of athletes. The fact that they were, 1-2, 1-3, I'm sure Penn Hills got up for that game. Because everybody gets up to play Aliquippa, especially a team like Penn Hills. So, they held tough at home and turned out to be a pretty good ball game. So Aliquippa won't go undefeated, and neither will Beaver, neither will Central Valley, and quickly we're starting to have some teams around the county with some losses. There's not too many undefeated teams left.
Yeah, you like the idea of being able to go undefeated if you can.
Yeah, you do.
But the reality is that undefeated doesn't matter. What matters is what do you do in conference play.
That's true.
And so that you can get into the playoffs, and then you can make your run there.
But another thing is now that with some of these classifications with different playoff formats and the WPL picking the wild card teams, you may not make the playoffs if you're a third place team with a good record. So your non-conference games might mean something, but Central Valley should probably not lose another game in the conference. So I don't think they have to worry, but other teams might have to. 3
big games coming up next weekend. Let's take a look at them. Central Valley and Avonworth at Avonworth.
Well, if Central Valley plays like this against Avonworth, I think that they should have a easier time because I think the Beaver might be a little bit better than Avonworth. Avonworth's still a pretty good ball club, but this Central Valley team is going to go in there on a 2-game winning streak, and playing the way they are, they're going to be on an all-time high going to Avonworth, knowing that that's probably the only team now that's going to stop them from a section title.
Blackhawk is looking at a game against Montour.
You know what? Blackhawk now 3-2, and they just whooped up on Yock. They really played well against them. So the Cougars are somewhat back with a new coach. So it should be interesting to see what they can do against Montour, a team that's beat them up the last couple of years.
And then you have Ambridge playing West Allegheny next week, another big matchup.
West A did not play well today, but then they played a very good team themselves, and they lost at home and got shut out. Ambridge now, I believe, 3-2. They go on the road and win at Greensburg-Salem, a team that was undefeated. So Ambridge a lot better. They're still hoping to make the playoffs. Ball game that.
You've been listening to the best in Beaver County football on Beaver County Radio.
Thanks for tuning in to high school football on Beaver County Radio. Tonight's game was brought to you by eXp Realty, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Patriot Home Care, Keystone Wellness Programs, Fry Transportation, Forward RX, Electric Garage Door Sales, the YMCA, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, McDonald's, Moon Auto, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, CCBC, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Fisher's New Brighton Foodland, Al's Pizza, Tri-State Sporting Arms, Drug Free Aliquippa, McGee Heating and Air Conditioning, LGKG, St. Barnabas, Gnu's Body Works, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home, Hallowed Grounds, J. Young Refuse, Zuki Sports Tavern, the Rochester Hotel, Henderson Insurance, D&G Rentals, S.E. Snyder Insurance, and Beaver County Radio, 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP.